Well, hello there. Welcome to Talking Tennis. Hi, Jerome.
How's it going, Nick? All good?
All good, thanks, Jerome. All good, all good. I am very much looking forward to this clash. I know we were talking about what we were going to watch today. This match just seems to be the obvious choice, really.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big matchup. Really excited, actually. Townsend playing some good tennis the last few days, some big wins. Yeah, I think she can cause Azarenka some problems. We're going to see a lot of those heavy topspin forehands from that lefty swinger, but yeah, should be a good game.
I'm very, very excited to see how it all works out. Yeah, I think this is actually a really, really good opportunity for Townsend because, as you say, she's playing some great tennis. She's on clay, which is quite comfortable and should suit her game. And she's up against Azarenka, who, whilst she's having a good season, doesn't necessarily have the best clay court record.
Exactly. I think she's negative. Last year, she was 2 wins, 4 losses on clay. Obviously didn't play too much. She doesn't really tend to play much of the clay swing, but yeah, not a great record the last couple of years. So it's definitely a winnable match for Townsend, and I think she likes these kind of matchups. You know, when she's got a sniff, I think she'll be able to sniff it out and maybe pounce on it, and she'll be no doubt looking to get a win here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, let's not rule Azarenka out completely. As I said, she's had a very good start to the season, and Charleston clay should be a bit better for her. It plays more like a hard court. Yeah, there's some sliding, but the way the ball behaves, it's not like your sort of red clay that you expect to see in Rome or Roland Garros. And you know, she got through Elisabetta Coccietto quite comfortably, but as we know, Townsend's a disruptor, so it should be an absolutely fascinating matchup, but let's not count Vika out completely.
Yeah, just seeing her there, kind of trying to warm up those serves on the ad side, the return, sorry, on the ad side. She's obviously clearly worried about that big lefty sweeper that we're going to see a lot of today.
Have you caught much of the tennis that's happened so far today?
I actually haven't. No, I did watch the Hurkacz match in Estoril.
Okay.
That was the only match I watched today, though. I was busy at work.
Yeah, well, same problem really, which is annoying because I did want to see Team Gasquet, but meetings and such like just didn't materialize. Yes, I would pick Team Gasquet over Hurkacz Joinski.
Oh, did Gasquet get the win in the end?
He did, straight sets.
Straight sets. That's kind of tough. I was hoping for a bit of a Dominic win, but
yeah. And actually, there's we've just released some interviews with Dominic Thiem where he's kind of playing down whether he's kind of not asking people to ask him about too far in the future. He's saying wait and see. So, like when he was asked, is he going to be back if Estoril happens in 2025? Would he be back? And he's just basically like saying wait and see. He's not thinking much past Roland Garros.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he's kind of just trying to dodge the question, but that could be an answer that could be hyped up as a potential retirement statement.
Yeah, definitely hyped up is the right word. I think we've seen it a lot recently. Obviously Murray. I mean, we see it through the years when players get asked about their retirement. You can understand the frustration a little bit. So I can see why he's chosen that route. I hope he said at the start, towards the start of the year, he said, if I'm not back to the level that I want to be at, not the level that he's of the past, but if he's not at a level that he's comfortable with himself, then he will call it a day. We're only in April, so let's just hold out a bit. But yeah.
We've started the match, by the way, already with Taylor Townsend hitting sort of a tricky out-wide serve that's given her the first point. So, yeah, we are now underway here in Charleston. And I have to say, Townsend is a player who, once I read about her story, what she's gone through, I do have to say, I do tend to root for her when she's playing.
Yeah, it's an incredible story, and she brings a bit of energy. I mean, I remember watching her in I think it was mixed doubles with Ben Shelton at the Australian Open, I think. or US Open. I can't remember which one, but they were just pulling out all sorts, and yeah, it was good energy, good vibes, and she's just a very likable person, I think.
Yeah, I think she is, and I think she and Leila Fernandez were a formidable team last year on doubles. It's a shame that they weren't able to do a bit more, but I'm liking sort of the progress that Townsend's making at the minute. Now I can't remember who her new partner is off the top of my head, but yeah. Also, Ghosty, I have to ask, how did you annoy the Emma Navarro fan base? You're not on Twitter. And then in terms of the analogy for the Townsend Lee Nar thing, I think Lee Nar was much more willingly accepted back into the fold as soon as she started winning Grand Slams. So I guess it would depend on, if Taylor Townsend suddenly wins a Grand Slam. But there we go. Townsend seems to be up in this game already. Azarenka seems to be struggling to get a read on her serve early on.
Yeah, she was. I mean, in that last point there, she played a pretty easy drop shot for Townsend to get up to, moving quite well, Townsend. But yeah, the serve's causing her problems. Another bit of a kick one into the body of Azarenka. She can't get it back in play.
I don't know what point you're on, mate, but I've just seen her ace it to win the game.
Okay, there we go. Well, you're a bit point ahead of me.
Yeah, nice bit of placement from Townsend.
I've just seen that. I mean, those. I was watching actually. I think John posted one. Or no, I saw one on YouTube, and it was earlier of Berrettini serving against in a practice with Nuno Borges, and he was just serving those on the ad side. He was serving the kick serves out wide, and when you see it court level like that, it's incredible. And Townsend just on the juice side there with her lefty serve just did another one, and those are arguably it's weird because you think they'll be easy to return because it's coming into you onto your forehand, but then it just springs up and Azarenka can't get a racket to it.
Yeah, though hitting a forehand at shoulder height is not the ideal placement for anyone. We're into a rally at the minute. The Azarenka backhand's gone to the Taylor Townsend forehand. She's going for the method of moving Townsend around, and now she's coming to the net to put pressure on Townsend, who's getting everything back. But Azarenka finishes with a half volley at the net. So she's come out firing.
Who?
Azarenka, I'd say, because she's just come out firing. Fist pumps immediately after winning that point. Again, taking a very different approach, just being aggressive and keeping. Whereas Townsend seems to be using a lot of spin and height against Azarenka. Azarenka's just trying to rush her around a bit.
I think that's what Townsend has to do in this matchup. She's got to, utilize her big, spinny, springy spin shots. That's the only way she's going to hit through Azarenka on this surface. So I think just keep hitting it with a bit of spin and height, and she'll eventually get through.
It's a bit too much height on that last one. Just sort of loops wide. But I do like watching Townsend's game for that reason. I do prefer watching players who put on a little bit more topspin compared to others.
Well, yeah, I mean, see it so often on the surface. What do you think of the classic American greenish clay? What do you make of it?
I like the novelty. I don't like it as a potential warm-up for Roland Garros. Although having said that, some people who've done well at Charleston have gone on to do pretty well at Roland Garros. I think as a transition surface from Miami to the regular red clay, I think that it has some merit. But as for how it plays, yeah, I think you certainly don't get sort of bogged down in really slow rallies in the same way. I think it's got its place for sure, but obviously its relevance may be reducing.
What about the blue clay of Madrid back in the day?
I mean, it looked great. I'm but looked a little bit of a health and safety hazard as well. That was the big problem with it. Cool idea, maybe, but given the players were having a lot less grip, probably wasn't the smartest move.
Yeah, quickly resorted back to the
I mean, it gave Roger Federer an extra title, so I'm not going to complain. Azarenka moving to 40-30 after having a little bit of trouble to get back to 30 all there. Still got to serve that out. Serve this game out here in Charleston, which, to be honest, actually looks like quite a fun event to visit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those typical, American USTA vibes. Atmosphere is good. A couple of big stadium courts as well for a 250 you like to see. So
it's a 500.
It's a 500.
Yeah, it actually was a 1000 at one point in its lifetime, like long time ago. We're talking 20 years ago. Yeah. It used to be like a 3-peat, like 3 1000s in a row, like March, April time on the WTA calendar. Indian Wells, Miami, Charleston.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that at all. I mean, that explains why Azarenka is only the 12th seed. So
yeah, I mean, or for a 500, yeah, it's actually a fairly good field actually, and I'm very happy with the quality of the last 16 this tournament's produced.
Well, Jabeur, defending champion, already knocked out by the woman of the moment, Danielle Collins,
which Kira and James brought to us so wonderfully earlier, actually. Nice. So I was listening to their commentary while finishing work, and from the sound of it, Ons fought pretty hard. She did a good job to keep herself in it. Did break back in the deciding set, but then, as you say, Collins was the woman of the moment and wasn't letting that match go. And actually, Collins has got to play again tonight.
Really?
Yeah, because they're trying to catch up from all the rain. And so she's playing Sloane Stephens, who also had to play first thing today, beating Fernandez 6-4, 6-4. But it was a very, very hard fought 6-4, 6-4 win. Like, it took them a couple of hours to finish that match.
Well, it's going to be tough for both of them then.
Yeah, they've definitely both had lengthy matches. But obviously, I think it'll be a crowd favorite with two big American names going head to head.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'll be intrigued to see how Collins fares this deep into a tournament off the back of a 1000 win.
Yeah, because my big concern with Collins at the minute is actually how much she has in the tank, given this is like her third consecutive week of play. She's showing a good level at the minute. Did go off the board in set 2 against Jabeur. So I guess it's going to be down to sort of just how much energy she's got, I think. And that's going to depend on health. It's going to depend on recovery and a lot of things. Same for Stephens to a certain extent, but obviously Stephens didn't go that deep in Miami. I think if Collins is physically fine, advantage her. If she's not, advantage Stephens.
Yeah, I would agree. Sorry, Ghosty, you are right. Just a figure of speech, but no, you are right. She will definitely be in our hearts forever. Come on.
Yeah, we've got. No, that's a little bit too soft. You need to put more aggression into that. Come on, from Collins.
I'm jealous of John and Damien in sunny Estoril now.
Yeah, I know. Where was your invite, Jerome?
Yeah, well, my dad has actually moved out there with his new wife. They live in Lisbon now. So I said to him, I was urging him, get down to Estoril, go see the 250, because it might not be on the tour next year. But I assume they'll find a way to find a place for it on the tour next year.
I've never heard of a tournament that, like, for a while, that sort of everyone would so is so disappointed to drop from the calendar. That's a 250. That's like, no, I can see
Well, what
a
was
little
the
outcry from
last?
British fans if we lost a British tournament, but this is like a fairly international
Yeah.
desire for this Portuguese tournament to stay.
Well, I think I mean, it's a beautiful tournament, first of all. But I mean, I can't. What was? Do you remember another 250 recently that they took off the tour?
What on the ATP tour? Because obviously
Yes,
the
yeah,
WTA has been dropping like flies.
yeah, on the ATP tour, not off the top of my head. So that's probably why it's such a big thing. Because I mean, they've been
Not off
adding
the
to
top of my
it.
head, although I don't know how much. Again, like there was such an outcry that that tournament would have been lost.
Yeah.
Jake, you need to DM me on Twitter. When are you going to Wimbledon? I'll let you know when I'm there. Yeah, but you're right. Estoril is clearly very popular, and it always has been, and like it's had a few good matches and atmosphere over there. It will be a loss. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, very
but
scenic. I mean, it signals the start of the beautiful European clay swing. But yeah, I mean, synonymous with the infamous Jose Morgado.
is he infamous? I don't think he's actually as bad as everyone says he is.
No, infamous as in infamous, not in a bad way.
Okay.
Just
Some people would find him infamous in a bad way.
Oh really?
Apparently.
I mean,
Yeah, there's some people who don't like him out there.
Really, I'd say I'm indifferent. He was actually one of the when I started out in journalism. He was actually one of the journalists that I chatted to, and he gave me bits of advice. 3 years ago. So yeah, I got a special place for him. Good lad.
Yeah, I think he seems like a good guy, actually.
Yeah, I think he is. Just loves the game.
Yeah, I think he's definitely someone who is I definitely appreciate seeing some of his tweets and results. And hey, maybe we'll bump into him at Wimbledon at some point.
I tell you, sorry, just a lovely. I'm a bit behind, but a lovely pass there from Townsend. And she in that last service game, she was in a bit of a rut, but now she seems like she's on the front foot. Another person I was going to say is Bastian.
Bastian's great.
I love the content from Bastian. He's very, very creative, and I love it.
Well, the WTA tour just hired him to do their social media, and it's improved so much now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the stuff he tweets, is very, very well thought of, and he's a social media icon.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's been on the show at one point. We had him as a guest. Yeah. Great guy. Talking tennis is basically see who we can get from Twitter and if they want to come back. That's generally how we recruit people.
I really enjoyed the chat with Marcus, the WTA Weekly with Marcus the other day.
Oh yes, that was a good time. Yes,
he's another great guy. Got a lot of time.
I really like him. Like I wasn't sure what to make of him before doing that interview in terms of I don't know how much of his personality actually shines through when he's broadcasting, but he's a genuinely lovely guy.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, definitely.
And really appreciate him. And I thought, some of his thoughts were really, really interesting. We've got break points in Charleston. Break points as Townsend is continuing to frustrate Azarenka using all the spin at her disposal. And it's 15-40 here on Althea Gibson Court. It's not the main court, it's Althea Gibson Court.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen her hit a topspin backhand yet, but
it was a very, very backhand was cross court, very close to the line. Forehand, Townsend at the net. She's missed it. She got it. She got it because I thought she'd missed it, but she's not because it was two very high risk shots. She went all the way out into clipping the line with an angle with the backhand, and then comes into the net to finish with a forehand. And again, playing fast and loose with the line, but gets the job done, and she leads by 3-1.
Yeah, that's a punishing forehand, right on the line.
Absolutely brilliant.
sometimes it's frustrating when you play. You feel like you're less comfortable. She likes to hit a flatter ball, and you're up against someone who's hitting it, with that much spin towards you, your backhand. It's hard to deal with and hard to respond. And Azarenka's been trying to, give a bit back to her, a bit of depth back to her, but it hasn't been working.
Yeah, and she's kind of Azarenka slapping her thigh. She's just won that point against Townsend. So Townsend can't afford to cruise yet. She's still got to consolidate this break. We're going to see if she's able to achieve that. We're going to go for a serve up the body, but it's missed. So Townsend's got to go for a second serve. Kind of waiting for things to die down. Victoria Azarenka is already ready and waiting to pounce on whatever the second serve's going to produce. Townsend goes. Body again, inside out forehand from Azarenka. Townsend moving her around with lefty forehand. Now moving around. Drop shot from Townsend. Clip the line. There's a fist pump and it clipped the line. There's a dispute though. It's taking ages for them to update the score. I think the umpire's checking the mark. Yeah, umpire's checking the mark and he's calling it good. Azarenka is disputing it, but umpire's pointing at the mark and he's saying, nope, definitely in. And Azarenka just scuffs it with her foot, just begrudgingly accepting that the ball was good from Townsend. And that drop shot, again, playing fast and loose with the edge of the line. And it's 15-all. I do feel like Townsend's taking a few risks here to keep Azarenka at bay.
Yeah. I mean, we said it before the match, if she can hold this up. But yeah, you kind of do feel that Azarenka will slowly find her feet in this match.
Never count Azarenka out of any tennis match unless she's playing Elena Rybakina.
Definitely.
Azarenka forced into an error and Townsend's fist pumps. It's 30-15. Great.
Yeah, Haddad Maya is the is Townsend's new doubles partner.
That was who it was.
Yeah.
She always seems to play with lefties, but that's a good partnership there.
Definitely a good partnership, yeah.
Don't think Haddad Maya's here though. I don't think they're playing together this week.
They're not. They did in Miami.
Yeah. Obviously Miami won by Matic Sands and Kenin.
Really liking that partnership as well this year. Two titles already to start the year.
I would love it for those two to tear things up and maybe win a major. Like that would be awesome.
Yeah, surely they come out all guns blazing at Flushing Meadows.
Yeah. Oh, sure. They'll have so much crowd support there.
Yeah.
There's a dispute going on, by the way, between Azarenka and Townsend. Azarenka's up to the net. There seems to be a call that's being disputed. Azarenka's not happy.
It's Azarenka. It did look long from Azarenka. It looked long.
Townsend looks like she's ready to serve and get on with it, but Azarenka's more interested in having an argument with the umpire.
Well, we saw. I mean, I did one of Azarenka's matches in Miami. I think it was versus Putintseva, and when Putintseva was, when a break up, in the first set, Azarenka was getting a bit, like kind of making stuff out, making things happen out of nothing. Trying to, start some arguments, and I'm not really. I don't really see much of that in the last year or so. I haven't seen much of it, but now I'm starting to see a bit of it. Which
she's continuing to argue.
Yeah, I haven't got the volume on, but I think there might have been no call, and then a correction from the umpire.
If anyone's watching with sounds, then let us know, because that would help us out a lot, I think, because we're not sure. But Townsend's now about to serve and get on with it. Serves, goes up the tee. Azarenka gets the forehand in play. Defensive forehand from Townsend. They're trading at the minute. Azarenka goes back to the backhand of Townsend cross court. Forehand Azarenka is over the baseline, forced by the pace from the backhand, and it's 40-15.
Yeah, it's not going to be not one to remember for Azarenka.
Azarenka goes over, sort of goes to the towel, but more ends up writing the bin the towel is resting in, and just again sort of throws it around. Just clearly frustrated. She's clearly frustrated.
Yeah, I think she shouldn't really. I mean, that's just a very clever point from Townsend. She had the return right at her feet, but she sends it back with interest. And sometimes when someone when someone makes a great point against you, you've got to just accept it. You got to say too good. You got to get on with it.
Townsend had an overhead to finish that point to close up the game, and she's put it over the baseline, 40-30. That was a little bit of a tight overhead, that one. Too much time.
Just
could have put it anywhere.
Yeah.
Again, positive point here. Goes for the drop shot, puts it in the net. Again, she's in mid-court. She's setting up for a forehand. Tries and okay, Azarenka had good court position, but she could have put it anywhere and decided to go for the clever shot and puts the drop shot in. And it's deuce. Ghosty, stop arguing with Emma Navarro's fan base. I mean, yeah, that's an insane comparison, but just enjoy the tennis match. As Azarenka has got a break point now. I think Townsend puts a forehand wide, and suddenly it's all gone from being in Townsend's hands to consolidate the break to putting Azarenka right back in it. And Townsend was up in that. She had opportunities to finish it. Azarenka was rattled. And now she's let Azarenka right back in here. So we've got a break point. Azarenka can come back, and I'll get your thoughts on it. Tries to go down the tee, and it's an ace. She celebrates. Deuce, go on, Jerome.
Yeah, I mean, that drop shot decision was, could still come back to haunt her at 40-30. Easy mid-court, just put it away. Don't do anything silly like that. On the forehand side especially, I could maybe understand if it was a backhand, but a forehand, yeah, it's questionable.
Kick serve is unreturnable from Townsend. Advantage to the American.
Ghosty, what do you make of this take that Navarro will win triple the amount of Masters that Collins wins in her career? You're
trying to bait him now.
What do you make of that, Ghosty? I think Navarro will get at least 3 Masters in her career, 3 times the amount of Collins.
And there we go. Azarenka's gone long, again forced by the spin from Townsend, and Townsend's now changing ends, breathing a sigh of relief that she consolidated that break 4-1. I don't think that's unlikely. I think for me, Navarro's potential is gonna. I think we've got to see how Navarro develops. She's not anywhere winning a Masters yet, 1,000 yet in her career. Might be it could happen in a couple of months, but we've got to see how her game develops. But the way the WTA is, I don't think it's unlikely. She is one of the most promising young talents out there right now, up there with the likes of Linda Noskova and of course Mira Andreeva.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one because in tennis now, I mean, 22. Is that really a young talent? Probably not. She's a bit of a late bloomer actually, but
well, you say that because she hasn't done the traditional circuit. She's been playing college tennis up until now.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So that's why we probably haven't seen too much of her in up to this point. So I guess if that, I would say yes, late bloomer if she took the traditional tennis route, but if she take Collins, same route. So.
Yeah, I mean Shelton as well. I mean, how old is Shelton? He's what, 21?
Shelton is I think he is 21 or something like that.
Because if Navarro's 22 now, she must have finished college.
Yeah, but she's she was in the ITFs last year. That's why she's so high ranked, because she just basically destroyed the ITF tour.
I was going to say, because I remember watching her at the back end of last year, and she was already, pretty big.
Yeah, Shelton's 21, born in October 2002. So yeah, I think Navarro's Navarro Navarro is someone who has come out of college and then, quickly risen through the ranks of scrapping her way through the lower levels.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think her game's very similar to like most of the American women out there, like very strong defensively, very well-rounded strokes, like Goff, like Pagula.
Yeah, I think with Navarro, it's, for me anyway, I mean, I may have different opinions, but she hasn't got kind of a big standout weapon. She's just kind of an all-round solid player, in my opinion.
Yeah, she's got such a good all-round game. It just depends on sort of what kind of peak she would use. I mean, we're talking about her now. She has beaten Aryna Sabalenka.
Yeah, it's true.
So, you can't argue with that. But with that win, okay, Sabalenka, wrong Belarusian. We're watching Azarenka now, trying to hold serve here, but Sabalenka wasn't at her best, but it was a very competitive match, actually.
Yeah.
Azarenka fist pumping as she's moved to 40-15, maybe boosting her confidence a little bit now she's played out some of the frustration and had a sniff at breaking Townsend back 40-15.
Yeah, a couple of big points from her as well. She's utilizing that topspin forehand right back at Townsend, and it seems to be working, but she's got to push it more to she's got to find Townsend's backhand a bit more. That's where the weaknesses start to creep in for the American.
Yeah, it does have to be noticed that Townsend has been avoiding using her backhand as much as she possibly can. There's been a lot of running around for forehands.
And a lot of, whenever it does come, I still don't think I've seen her hit a topspin backhand. It's just slices, but
I know she definitely hit over. She definitely hit through the backhand on that return that she hit to break. There wasn't a lot of topspin on it.
Yeah, maybe a midpoint backhand then.
Yeah. But I know what you mean. But let's see what she produces here as she's serving now. See what kind of pressure. That was a great return from Azarenka, who then goes back behind Navarro with the +1 forehand mid-core, and that's it. Love 15. She's geeing herself on.
Bit of momentum.
Yeah, I think Townsend's doing well to push Azarenka back, but let's see when it goes. Tricky first serve at Azarenka. Why am I doing this? It's because we were talking about Sabalenka, and now whenever these two get mentioned, I just constantly get them mixed up. Which player are we watching, Jerome?
We're watching Azarenka and Townsend.
Fantastic, thank you.
Or Sabalenka and Townsend.
So as I was saying, it's Aryna Sabalenka against Emma Navarro. No, wait, hang on, what?
I have actually just switched to see what's happening in that Navarro match. But...
Oh, what's happening with the Navarro match?
So she's a breakdown against Jacqueline Christian, and she 4-3 down, a breakdown. So Ghosty's probably very happy.
Yeah.
And Mertens is Kasatkina's 5-love up against Kalnina.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Kalnina is a very hot and cold player.
And Offner is 11-10 up against Vukic in that tiebreak.
Okay, we've got break points here in Charleston as a backhand from Townsend goes wide. Not enough spin on it for it to come down. A little too flat, and not enough pace in it to draw it down. So chance for Victoria Azarenka to get back into this set. 2-4, 15-40, serves, and a great return from Azarenka to the back, cross court, to the backhand of Townsend, which ends up in the middle of the net. And there we go. It is Azarenka back on serve, 4-3. Townsend still in front on serve.
Yeah, big from Azarenka to get back in there. Bit of momentum. I will just say, I did say Offner was 11-10 up, serving for that first set tiebreak. He's now 12-11 down, returning to stay in.
Things move. Is that in Houston?
That's in Marrakesh, actually.
Marrakesh. Okay.
Fucsovics and Monfils as well. That in Estoril, that's in the third set.
That was the other match we could have potentially been watching.
Yeah, Monfils looks tired, as he always does. I don't think I've ever seen Monfils not looking tired.
Yeah, that's the thing with Monfils at this age. Like, he always looks tired, but he finds a way through. And also, Fucsovics is pretty intense to play, especially on clay.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back to their meeting in Madrid where Monfils pulled out that hot shot. That was also probably the last time they met.
Shawana, to answer your question, we don't know. Like, the cameras haven't picked Vika's son up. He's very rarely like within camera sight, actually. Usually, but also I think the player boxes are quite high up, so they're not really an easy sight of the cameras. So the answer is we don't know. Camera's not picked him up, and to be honest, I can't think of a time a camera has picked him up when watching. Actually, I am listening, by the way. James, to see something in the corner.
Yeah, they probably don't want to show too much of her son. I would assume.
I know he was recently on Tennis Channel.
Oh, really?
Brought him into the studio for an interview.
I didn't see that.
I think there's a clips going around. But he's still pretty young as well. I think he's only he must be about nearly 8 now. 7 or 8.
He's obviously not as young as some of the other kids that we've got. Wozniacki, Osaka.
Yeah. We're into a rally at the minute. Townsend again running around to hit forehands at Azarenka's backhand, which, on the defense is giving it very, very short. Oh, Townsend tries to slide in, but the ball just dipped. And Azarenka gets the point. 30-love as Townsend attempted a slide drop, ends up in the net. Love. Azarenka still geeing herself on, trying to get herself through into the, trying to get herself to kind of even Stevens in this match again. Serves 30-love, goes up the tee. Good return from Townsend, who then goes cross court on the forehand, backhand slice from Azarenka, backhand cross court from Townsend. Bit of topspin on that one. Forehand Townsend trying to move Azarenka around. Azarenka goes for the pass. I'd say it's a pass because Townsend wasn't anywhere near the net, but she was inside the baseline. And I think her position cost her because the angle from Azarenka, the way the ball bounced right next to her, no way she could pick that up. And that's 40-love Azarenka. Probably get that in a minute, that
yeah,
shot.
just seen it.
Ace from Azarenka closes out the game 4-all.
Well. 3 games on the trot. And I think that's, I'm going to say 12 of the last 13 points, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Because she held to love, broke to 15, and then held to love.
Yeah.
So, yeah, wow.
The momentum very much with Azarenka. I thought momentum might be with Townsend, but getting her emotions out seems to have really helped Vika at the minute.
See how Townsend can deal with this. Really liking that that clubhouse in the background. That really picturesque there.
Yeah, I mean, you can. What do you like tournaments which have this sort of still retain some kind of a tennis club feel, like having
Yeah,
sort of an old school clubhouse in the background?
like Queens. I really do. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So it's kind of like, you've got the court and then almost the buildings around, secluding it. I really like it. Yeah.
yeah. I like that image as well. It kind of reminds you of the roots of the game. Barcelona looks very similar as well.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, actually. Um,
Yeah.
Taking it back to, well, it makes you think of lawn tennis, doesn't
Yes. Um,
it?
crazy stat, a crazy historical fact actually. Clay used to be called hard courts 100 years ago.
Really?
Yep.
Hard
Yep.
courts. Yeah, there you
Yep.
go. Well, I mean,
Before
they
they
used
introduced
to.
what we now know as hard courts.
Well, clay used to be. It used to be a sign of wealth. The nobility would play on clay, and it would be a sign of wealth.
Mm,
And I think that's why in France they still got a lot of them.
mm.
Because of that, for that reason. But yeah.
Obviously, 100 years ago, the depending on whether you were from Europe or the US, if you were in US, you just toured the US. If you were in Europe, you just toured the French Riviera.
Exactly. Yeah, precisely. I mean, that I did. Part of my dissertation at uni was on tennis, the origins of it, and I'm looking into it. That's how it kind of, when it was formed in Britain, it was like a little game, and then
Yeah.
the expats would take it over to their holiday homes in France on the French Riviera, and they'd play it there, and then it
Yeah.
suddenly got picked up in France, and that's how it spread.
Yeah. And just sort of helped make it into the sport that we kind of know today. I think Suzanne Longline also had a lot to do with it, but
Mm.
it was definitely a sport that was clearly very popular to watch. Speaking of sort of tennis history, how much do you know about the person that this court's named after, Althea Gibson?
Althea Gibson. Not much about her. Isn't she's one of the only, how many well, I do actually know a bit about her. Sorry, there's a section of a book I read about the history of lawn tennis, and there's a chapter about Mavericks, and she's in that
Mm,
section. But I think she's a very inspirational player for a lot of black women around.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
yeah.
for sure. Obviously, trailblazer in so many ways.
Mm,
You know, trailblazer, obviously, first black woman to win a Grand Slam.
yeah.
Won 5, 1 French, 2 Wimbledon, 2 US.
Mm,
Was in the mid to late 50s, pretty much unstoppable. Did not lose many matches. Was clearly the best player in the world, and to be honest, probably could have won a lot more. But she decided to turn pro, which a lot of women didn't do. But she needed the money, and
mm,
obviously that cost her the opportunity to continue that reign of dominance into the 60s when Margaret Court would have arrived.
yeah.
Obviously, Maria Bueno probably would have had something else to do with it as well. But actually, somewhat you could argue Gibson was a bit of a late bloomer because she was around. She'd been around sort of in the early 50s, but injuries and whatnot slowed down her development. And she only really took over by that point. But certainly, yeah, as you say, Maverick, kind of different and proud of it.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost is cool. I mean, it's. I was actually speaking about this today, and I do agree. I think there's still, even now. I mean, you said tennis was really racist. I don't think it still is as such, but I think there is still a lot of room for improvement when it comes to
Yes.
diversity and making the sport more accessible. I would still go out and say that it is a very elite sport for a lot of
Mm,
reasons. A lot of the reasons, the history related to it. I think there's a lot of stereotypes still today, and I think we need to kind of make tennis seen as a sport that is for everyone. Or everyone needs to look at tennis and be like, oh yeah, I could see myself doing that. At the moment, I think it's still a bit of an elite sport, and I think there's still a lot of negative aura around it that we need to address. And I think tennis federations across the world need to. I mean, people, they are making efforts, but definitely more needs to be done.
I definitely agree with that. I think that is a massive barrier to entry for a lot of people. What I guess my question is that the case in sort of outside the UK and the US? Because I think it's definitely true in those two countries. I'm wondering whether it was the same in somewhere like Czech that constantly produces tennis players.
Yeah, true. I mean, even in France as well, I think there's the French Tennis Federation have done a lot, but there's still so much more to do. But yeah, everywhere, I think, not only
Oh yeah.
not only in Europe.
Look,
Meanwhile,
we want more people playing tennis.
definitely.
Yeah, we've got Azarenka about to serve out to make it 5-all. 40-30. Townsend looked like she was making moves to break. Double fault from Azarenka. No, the first serve was a lat.
Getting confused.
I'm very easily confused, Jerome.
I can tell. But who's playing again?
I don't know. Townsend just put a forehand into the net. Azarenka holds 5-all. Now we're into interesting territory.
Yeah, I think we already were in interesting territory there. 30-all, 5-4 could have been troublesome for Azarenka, but she finds a way to dig herself out of that hole and climb out of it. Just using that very deep, high moon ball. I would hate to be returning some of those shots.
Yeah, it's. I mean, let's face it, we wouldn't have a hope. We're not those people who think they have a chance of winning a game off an actual professional.
Yeah, I mean, yes, at the UTS event in December, I went to the media day, and some of the national tennis, some of the journalists from the national papers got invited to have a hit in the morning with Draper and Rublev. And I'm not amazing, but I'm pretty decent at tennis, and I was just there because I wasn't invited, but I was there, I was watching, and some of them were just terrible. I mean, at least get the ball back and play. Some of these journalists, I mean, I won't name names, but yeah, really got to up their game. Meanwhile, talking about backhands, Townsend utilizing finally the spin backhand mid rally, getting the winner there. I think I might be a point behind, but
yeah, because I've just seen a big backhand from Azarenka that's gone up the line, and the umpires had to get off her chair and confirm it's out. So 30-love Townsend. How is Gael Monfils doing? Because Kren is saying he's about to win against Fucsovics.
He is 15-40, 2 on the Fucsovics serves, 4-5, 2 match points.
So he's got 2 match points. There we go. We're not watching, but we'll mark the moment he pulls off the win as Townsend moves to 40-love up. How's your tweener, Jerome?
Well, my friend's actually got a video of me hitting a tweener winner against another friend, so I'll get him to send me that at some point, and we can send it in.
Mate, yeah, do you know what? John would probably put that up.
Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty nice shot.
All right, we're changing ends. So Townsend's held to love. Pressure's now back on Azarenka, and I definitely think Townsend stabilized things a little bit for her.
Yeah, I mean, those 2 holds there at 4-all and 5-all are pretty big holds, so let's hope she can use it. Meanwhile, Fucsovics is going for it. He saved the first match point, and he's just saved another one. Back to deuce. Monfils, of course, locked in a battle. When is he not?
Well, yeah. 2 match points come and gone. Hopefully, Monfils does not regret that. But he should. But yeah, we are kind of rooting for him to get the job done.
Well, yeah, and rooting for him to win the French Open this year, apparently.
Hey, look, wouldn't that be brilliant? That would
I
be
mean,
brilliant.
that would, I mean, that would probably be one of the biggest stories in tennis for a long time. Yeah, I mean, be incredible. I would love to see it, but let's see how likely it is.
Hey, Jonah. Yeah, Victoria. Vika might have. I think Vika has hit an ace. Maybe you heard her celebrating from all wherever you are. If you're coming to us from Charleston, fantastic. That would be cool. Which
That would be
probably,
cool. Unlikely, but cool.
okay, here's your here's a bit of trivia knowledge then. When was the last French male singles champion at Roland Garros?
Well, it was what in singles? It's got to
In
be
singles, yeah, men's singles champion.
Yannick Noah.
Yeah, what year?
I think it was. I want to say 83.
Spot on. Yep.
That is good knowledge there.
Who did he beat in the final?
Ah, that's no, it's too much. It's too much.
I'll give you a clue. He's someone who won multiple French Open titles, and actually the guy who won in the year that Ghosty thought Noah won.
85. Well, actually, was it 85? No,
No, it was 83.
I think it was 83. Yeah,
It is 83. Yeah.
So sorry, say that again. He won multiple
Front Roland Garros titles.
83. Was it? I want to say, was he Swedish?
Yes.
Was it Borg?
No. Borg had retired by that point.
Edberg?
Nope.
What?
There's another Swedish player, but maybe you don't know him because he never won Wimbledon.
No, I will know him. Borg, Edberg, and nah, give me a clue. Give me a clue. What's
one I don't know, because I feel like any clue I give you is going to be
just
obvious.
what's his first name?
Oh, you definitely know it. It sounds like something an umpire would say at the end of a match. If you
Of
Schwarner's got it.
Of course. Big old Matt.
Matt Farunda.
Yeah, it kind of gets forgotten about, but he was obviously, French Open known for his success at the French.
Won 3 French Opens, 82, 85, and 88. And
I think he was part of that one of the Davis Cup winning teams as well with Sweden.
Yeah. I believe he also won 3 Australian Opens and a US Open, so he's a 7-time Slam champion. Just never got past the quarters at Wimbledon. By the way, big opportunity for Taylor Townsend. Azarenka hits an entire backhand that clips off the top of the net, ends up in the tround lines, and Taylor Townsend has set point 30-40, 6-5. Back to the match. Townsend's been really working her way into this game. And she is now facing a set point to try and win this. Sabalenka out wide, ace. I've done it again. Done it again. She aced it. She saved set point. It's deuce. Shauna saying, yeah, Fernando, first man to win a major on 3 different surfaces in the Open era. Actually, come to think of it, I think it's the first man ever because there were only 2 surfaces before the Open era. Oh my word! What a passing shot from Taylor Townsend! That is absolutely brilliant. It was too high for Azarenka to pick off at the net, and it just drops in. Great bit of topspin shot from the forehand from Townsend up the line, and it's another set point for the American.
On the return. Oh
no, it was a running forehand passing shot.
Just seen it. Bit of a banana one there.
As a Nadal special. We've got Azarenka now got a short return, which she puts away inside out on the forehand, and it's deuce again. Apparently, Monfils has not got the job done, sadly. Don't worry,
Yeah,
Kren. We will celebrate hard if he wins.
yeah, Memphis, he threw away 3 match points, and it's back to 5-all in the third set over there.
Hello, Jean. You're joining us at a critical moment in this match. We have Deuce for Victoria Azarenka. She saved 2 set points already. Goes up the tee. Forehand from Townsend is in. Huge cross-court forehand from Azarenka is picked off by Townsend. Now she can't. She's going to try and run that one down. Great defense from Taylor Townsend. Her movement's incredible. Azarenka's now got the overhead, which she puts away. Wrong foot to Townsend, and it's advantage to Azarenka. And now we have tie-break point.
Wow. Wow. Gutsy from the Belarusian.
Yeah, really, really good. I mean, like, crazy defense from Townsend. I like Azarenka won that point several times.
Yeah. It's got to be that good against Townsend.
Ace out wide from Azarenka. We're into a tiebreak. Jean hoping that Vika can win one more title before she retires. Maybe that title will be here in Charleston.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, it would be against the odds, but again, not surprising. You know, she probably has got the tools to kind of grind her way to a win this week.
I'm going to have to look up now. Has Victoria Azarenka ever won a title on clay?
I don't think so.
I'm going to look it up. Well, I'll probably be looking up between checking what's happening in the matches as Townsend serving to stay, serving to start this tiebreak. Ghosty is predicting that Azarenka is going to win this tiebreak 7-3. Townsend goes for a body serve. Now moves Azarenka around with the forehand. But then the next follow-up forehand is looped over the baseline, and Azarenka gets that first mini break 1-0.
Meanwhile, in Estoril, after having 3 match points, Monfils has just been broken to love and will now have to return to stay in the match against Fuchsowitz.
Wait, he's been broken, but he's returning? Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah. I know, I said that bit. I surely should have said Fuchsowitz will serve for the match, but...
Oh, that's gutting for it. Okay. Go on.
No, it's classic Gael.
Okay. Victoria Azarenka, who's just serving, goes body, but umpire calls out running across. Townsend's changing sides, so I think it's a double fault. It is a double fault from Azarenka. This time I have called it right, 1-1. And she has won 1 clay title in her career. It was in April.
Can I guess where it is?
Yeah, have a guess. Yeah, it's in 2011. I'll give you the year.
2011 clay title.
Mm-hmm.
What continent?
Europe.
It was in Europe.
It was a European clay tournament.
Would you say it's a fairly big one, or?
No. In fact, that was the last edition of the event in the WTA Tour. It appeared once in 2021 on the ATP Tour and hasn't really been a top-level tournament since.
Is it in Romania?
No.
No, I'm not
Townsend
sure.
gets the mini break, by the way, 2-1.
Yeah,
and Azarenka's frustrated again.
Azarenka was a mini break up as well.
Yeah, but it's still very early in this tiebreak. Jean has answered the question, by the way. So if you don't want to be spoiled, don't look at the chat.
Spain 250. Which city?
To be honest, it's probably not somewhere that like you would recognize as being, oh, great passing shot from Azarenka up the line with the backhand, 2-2. I'll just tell you because you're not going to get it. It's actually
what city though?
Well, I don't know my Spanish geography too well. That's the problem.
What do you mean? Does it not say the?
It does. Well, it's called the Andalusia Tennis Experience.
Yeah, Andalusia. Yeah.
And it was in Marbella.
Yeah, it's in the south. It's that's what I'm just seeing that backhand from Azarenka. Wow, what a shot!
Really taking her anger there. Short ball from Azarenka, which she runs down with the backhand. Her backhand really serving her well. Townsend trying to pass her at the net, but the top spin puts the ball in the net, and Azarenka now has the mini break 3-2.
No one's held serve in this tiebreak so far.
No, absolutely not. Previous champions of the event, Azarenka won on clay before. Jelena Jankovic from Flavia Pennetta. Azarenka beat Arena Camelia Begu in the final 3-2. And then that men's event that happened in 2021, Pablo Carreño Busta beat Jaime Munar in 3 sets. I think I remember that one because that was one of the first tournaments we saw Alcaraz in action.
In Andalusia, yeah.
Backhand Azarenka cross court trying to hold serve here. Great forehand up the line from Townsend, who's now running around. Backhand Azarenka cross court. Townsend's going to scoop that one up. I think that's going to go out. No, it just lands in. There was enough spin on there. But Azarenka's passing shot is too good up the line, and she maintains it. And it's 4-2 Azarenka. Loving life right now, the Belarusian.
Did you see the mastermind questions about the Wimbledon since 2000?
I did. I actually managed to get most of them.
Did you? Fair play.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some pretty tough questions in there.
Yeah, some of them, like, I think I remember the last one I just did not know. But 1 or 2 I didn't know. But the rest I was pretty confident I could get.
Yeah. Was it Wimbledon finals or was it just Wimbledon in general?
I think it was just Wimbledon because there was
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
I'm gonna get it up.
Yeah. We're going to try and do the quiz.
I'm gonna see if the viewers can.
Forehand in play from Townsend on the return. They've swapped sides now. Backhand from Townsend to the forehand of Azarenka, who's just peppering that backhand. Slice from Townsend, draws Vika in. Cross court Azarenka. Great defense from Townsend, who's now Azarenka's changing direction at the net. Townsend again runs that one down, just about lands in. Azarenka's desperately scooping that back, and it's way out of court. Townsend celebrates 4-3. She's now serving. We're back on serve.
She's back in it. Wow.
We will answer Ghosty's Kvitova question after the end of this tiebreak. I think we've had enough tangents right now. We need to focus on the end of this match. Townsend stepping up. She gets the balls from the ball kid. She's stepping up to serve. Gets ready. Dressed in her white baseball cap with the white long sleeve top and white skirt. Taylor Townsend serving. Goes up the tee. Now forehand inside out. Azarenka's having to run that one down with her forehand. Lands in. Backhand Azarenka into space. 5-3. And that running around the forehand that Townsend was doing, the forehand wasn't good enough, and Azarenka had the space to play the backhand into, and Townsend couldn't run it down.
Just seeing it now.
So, leaving the door open a little bit, Azarenka. Townsend's the only player who has not held serve in this tiebreak. Can she put an end to that here with this point? Puts the first serve into the net. That's going to make her life a little bit harder. Bouncing the ball. Gets ready. Serves. Forehand in play from Azarenka. Backhand Townsend. Forehand Townsend up the line to the Azarenka. Backhand. Who hits it back to the Townsend. Forehand. It goes inside out. Clip the line. Clip the line. 5-4. Azarenka 2 serves away from winning this. I had to pause because I didn't want to call one way or the other. I was waiting for the scoreboard to change. Townsend's expression couldn't tell me which way she was going. As Jean informs us that Fucsovics has won 7-5 in the third and Monfils is out of Estoril. Painful, painful defeat for the Frenchman.
Yeah, that's really tough, having 15-40 as well on 3 match points as actually in total in that game, and then losing out. It's tough to take.
Can Azarenka avoid heartbreak in this tiebreak? Townsend gets the forehand into play, loops it, backhand slice from Townsend. Azarenka's backhand is way out of court, and it's 5-all.
Game on.
Next point will be a set point, but which way will it go? Will it go to the 2-time Australian Open champion, Victoria Azarenka, who's had a great start to the year, or to the home favourite, the American Taylor Townsend, who has really been stepping up on this court this week and is definitely tearing up the doubles tour at the minute? Victoria Azarenka is going to serve out wide. They're actually doing pretty well at getting the first in. Really short return from Townsend. He's going to run for the Azarenka drop shot. Passes her up the line. Great forehand. So much spin. Drops in. Azarenka couldn't get to it. And the crowd are loving it. Townsend's box are loving it. Townsend has set point again. But it's this time on her serve. Those 2 set points we had here before, they were on Vika's serve. Vika pulled out 2 aces to save them. Taylor Townsend is stepping up now.
Pretty
She is
interesting from I don't know, I'm a bit behind, but Azarenka stayed to cover line and then just didn't try
stick the
and make
racket out. It's an unreturnable serve from Taylor Townsend, and she gets the set. 7-5 in the tiebreak. Townsend is a setup, and she's pointing to her mind. She's pointing to her head. She knows that she is mentally the stronger player right now.
Yeah, Azarenka's gonna rue those missed chances at 5-3.
For sure. And Azarenka's just gone off court.
It's a big serve down the tee.
Yeah, she's going to need to go and like calm down, reset.
Who is that in Townsend's box, actually?
I have no idea. By the way, for those who are interested, for those I'm just checking checking scores around the grounds, but yeah, there's checking scores and various things. But for those who are interested in the Premier League title race in the football, it's 1-1 between Liverpool and Sheffield United. Liverpool were 1-0 up and then conceded an own goal.
Yeah, Bradley. That's massive, by the way. That's a massive last. And United have just equalised against Chelsea, but that's less important.
Depending on, well, I don't know if John's watching, he'd probably consider that far more important than any title race.
Well, no, that is actually massive. Sheffield United, they can't lose in that. Big 30 minutes coming up for Liverpool. Anyway, Jean, I agree with you, Jean. Townsend was the better player throughout that set, and she deserved to win it. I agree. Let's see if she can hold it up in this second set.
In terms of around the grounds in Charleston, Kasatkina won the first set 6-1 against Kalinina. It's going with serve in the second. Kalinina has a point for 3-all. Jacqueline Christian got the first set against 6-3 against Emma Navarro. It's going with serve at the minute, but Navarro is at 30-all 2-3 serving. So still plenty to play for. Navarro could be in trouble. Kasatkina could be going through, but there is still time for a lot of these things to change. And there's still a lot of time for Azarenka to turn this around.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll go back to Ghost's question. What's your perspective on Petra Kvitova's career? Is 2 slams not enough for someone as good as she is?
Yeah, I mean, it's not even about that. I don't think she's gonna threaten really. I mean, is she coming back after she gives birth, or
that seems to be the intention?
Is that the plan? Yeah, I mean, we've rarely seen, those fairy tale stories after giving birth. Obviously, we know some heroes are capable of pulling off great comebacks after giving birth, but yeah,
I think you also have to consider her age as well. Like when she comes back, she will be sort of mid-30s.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it with Kerber as well. I mean, she's nearing the end of she's mid-30s as well. Is she, Kerber?
Yeah,
and she's
probably nearing late 30s now, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, I think she's had a great career, Kvitova, in a difficult era as well. She's done well, so I think she'd be happy. Don't know how many WTA titles she's won, but those slams, I mean, yeah, pretty good going.
Yeah, yeah, she's won a lot of. Wait, are you talking about Kvitova?
Yeah.
She's got a fair few. I think she's won like 20 odd titles.
20, yeah. I mean, it's great career.
Jean's saying, why was Kvitova number 1? Like, she was actually only a handful of points away from being world number 1 at the end of 2011. It was just the WTA ranking system at the time didn't give enough weight to slams because she'd won Wimbledon and the WTA finals that year, but it wasn't enough to get ahead of Wozniacki, who just consistently won titles at sort of 500 and a couple of thousands throughout the season. But I think if you look at the point system, the gap wasn't the sort of like the reward for winning slams and like the bigger titles was not enough to kind of push her over the edge. So like in my mind, she should have been the number one in 2011. But you're right, in terms of slams, I think she maximized the opportunities when she had them. Maybe she could have won a couple more Wimbledons, but I think anywhere else would have been a struggle given the field she was in. And Sean is correcting us, saying she's won 31 WTA titles.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad count, is it?
Yeah, she's had a very, very good career, Kvitova. Like, she will go down as one of the best players of her generation.
Yeah, and I think in that generation as well, really tough group of competition there. So to achieve that feat, the feat of that many titles is a testament to.
Yeah, because she was in there with Wozniacki, with Azarenka, Radwanska, Halep, maybe. It was Halep. No, Halep might be just a couple of years after that generation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that group kind of stormed in sort of early 2010s.
Yeah.
But of course, that generation still had to deal with Serena Williams, and that was the big struggle for them.
Yeah, well, both the Williams really, but yeah.
Maybe not Venus so much in the early 2010s.
What, dipping off a bit?
Yeah, she dipped off after 2009. Like, she was still a contender. She won the odd 1000, but she just wasn't consistent. I think.
Did she win any slams after that?
No, her last slam was Wimbledon 2008.
There you go.
And there's a lot to do with that. Like, her health has a lot to do with it. Obviously, she suffers with Sjogren's syndrome, which is a sort of immune disease. So that's held her back a lot. Venus in the sort of last decade or so. But she still found ways to be successful and still going. Sean, I am talking about Venus Williams, not Kvitova. But yes, you're right that she lost a lot of time due to the injury she sustained after the intruder broke into her home.
Yeah, horrible stuff.
We're back on court, by the way. Azarenka's finally back. And she's serving now, goes up the line with the forehand, has Townsend on the run, and Townsend scrambles the forehand into the net, and it's 15-love. Great start, Azarenka, at the start of the set.
Yeah. The start of this second set is going to be really important for Azarenka. You feel like she's got to snatch a bit of a break early on to keep the pressure on. Otherwise, you can see Townsend might be able to run away with this if she.
I mean, we'll have to see. I think Azarenka's definitely been putting the pressure on Townsend. Gets the second point as well. Again, rushing Townsend.
Yeah, it's big serving as well.
Yeah, she's coming out swinging, like she's in the last set as well.
Yeah, she's not going to go away without a fight, obviously.
Again, big second serve, 40-love. Looks like Townsend's changing rackets. She's not happy with the string tension she's got. I'm making an assumption because she's walking all the way back to her chair. Azarenka's already kind of getting ready to serve. Okay, maybe Townsend's just taking the long way around back to her seat because they're not showing her. They're only showing Azarenka, who goes up wide with the first serve, and it's an ace, and it's game Azarenka. Job done, held to love. Yeah, perfect start for her.
Yeah, that's a big start.
Who did you do a bracket for Charleston? Who did you have winning it?
I actually didn't do a bracket for any of these this week.
Fair. I mean, yeah, Charleston. It's hard to call a winner from it.
I'm gonna look at the draw now
from the field. I'd say, like, I think you're still going to be hard pressed to call whoever's going to be the champion from this event.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a packed field. I mean, I would really love for Pegula win a title.
Do you want Ghosty to hate you?
I would. I mean, I didn't know that he's not a fan of Pegula either. But
No, he's not. He basically doesn't like Navarro or Pegula because they come from rich families.
yeah, you've got to love a bit of nepotism.
And actually, I think both are like, yeah, I mean,
but
Navarro's
that,
dad owns the Charleston tournament.
okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, Pegula's dad owns the NFL team. I can't remember which one.
Miami Dolphins, I think. So yeah,
The
Miami's home
Dolphins.
for. So actually, yeah, practically has a stake in the Miami event.
Yeah, I mean, so what? That doesn't, that doesn't make you automatically make you a good tennis player. These girls have had to work to get there. Yes, they've been given a bit of a footing, as all tennis players do. It's tennis, as we were talking about earlier. It's still an elite sport. To get into it, you've still got to have the funds. And I'm not saying that it's a good thing that like that. I think things need to change, but I don't think you should then again hate on the ones that do succeed. She's worked hard, and she's got to as high as number 3 in the world. So
2 points. First of all, I was wrong. It wasn't Miami. It was Buffalo Bills that her dad owned. Secondly, 3 break points for Azarenka, putting Townsend under pressure. Backhand from Townsend. The backhand of Azarenka. Forehand drop shot from Townsend is really, really good. Azarenka can't reach it. 2-all. 15-40. So yeah.
love,
So that's where we're at.
Was it love 40?
Yeah, it was love 40. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, but I mean a bit of a footing. Yeah, of course. Like any tennis player nowadays, you have to have money to play the sport, and it's a shame, but
it's what we were talking about earlier with the elitism that's still in the
yeah,
sport.
exactly.
So unfortunately, yeah, but I agree with you. I don't like it. The money got her so far. Her talent's taken her the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
Like she's
Precisely.
worked for it.
Precisely. I mean, I'm sorry if Collins comes from a wealthy family as well, so it's an invalid argument, I don't think. And I don't know what you're talking about there with Thatcher and Reagan. I don't really.
Oh, I don't. I think he. I think we're just
that.
not being left wing enough.
Well,
which this is not a political show, so.
I'm not. Yeah. Well, exactly.
By the way, Townsend saved 3 break points. Inside, it tries to go. Oh my word! She tries to use the forehand to make Azarenka run for it and drags it into the tram lines and gives Azarenka another break point opportunity. So we are we're going to be here. So Azarenka has advantage.
Is that the 4th break point of the game?
Yeah. I don't think you're right, by the way. Collins does not come from a wealthy family because we've got multiple people in this chat saying she doesn't. I'm like to believe chat. Sorry, Jerome. Backhand.
I think she does, but we'll see.
Azarenka's put the return into the net.
I'll take the hate.
Hey, look, it makes a change that I'm not the least popular person on the stream. That might change when Nerlan arrives.
I mean, she's an IMG Academy girl, so I mean that says it all, really. you don't need
she was
to.
A college player originally.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's an IMG girl, so I mean, it doesn't matter about any of that.
Oh my word! Azarenka's frustrated. She goes long on the forehand, slaps the forehand long. She's shouting at her box, just frustrated, and it's advantage Townsend. Advantage.
It'll be a good hold here for Townsend, fending off four break points in the opening stages.
Unreturnable serve from Townsend. Holds. Yeah, absolutely right. Good hold.
It's a massive hold.
So there we go. So to Azarenka is now stepping out. I think, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not. Oh, I've just realised I've stolen a pen from somewhere. Vika looks very frustrated. Yeah, I agree. Jerome, Jean, even you're Jerome. I'm getting everyone's names wrong today.
What, Ghosty? Please tell me how you know that she comes from a lower middle class family and not just a normal middle class family. Where's that information?
Wikipedia search is enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Wikipedia now. It doesn't say anything about that, but I don't think I'm wrong about the. I mean, she may well be, but I would like to interested to hear how you know that about her family history. That's all I know.
Love 15. Azarenka has just put a serve into the net. Doesn't want to give Townsend a break advantage. That's what she did early on.
Jean, are you French? It sounds like a French name, Jean. And Jerome is actually an elderly French man's name, so it could.
Are you an elderly French man masquerading as a young English man? Don't blow your cover, Jerome. Oh, it's Jerome, sorry. By the way, Azarenka still hasn't served a ball in play for this point. Now she has really short second serve, and Townsend punishes it. Love 30.
Wow, it's the classic. When you have break points and don't convert, can come back to haunt you on that next service game. Yes, same with me. I'm English, but my parents gave me a French name as well, so don't know what that's all about.
Because the English steal names all the time. So Azarenka served at love 30. Townsend gets it back in play. Backhand Townsend into the net. Cross court. 15-30.
Big point there.
Huge result. Yeah, that could have been setting up for breakpoint. But again, it's the backhand from Townsend that's letting her down. Do you want to? I want to get your stance on the Townsend's return position because I find it quite interesting. I mean, they weren't really showing it earlier, but as Townsend goes long with a forehand, 30 all. But it just looked like what she holds, like what she kind of really crouches down, so one knee's higher than the other.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
I mean, it seems to work for her, but I don't. Maybe there's some kind of injury that's causing that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I always find it interesting, sort of alternative tennis techniques.
Yeah, I mean, even some of the top guys, I've seen this before. I mean, with Sinner, someone like Sinner, I mean, he's obviously an extremely talented player, but he doesn't have I wouldn't say he has the most natural looking technique. But so effective.
Great inside out forehand from Townsend, forcing the error from Azarenka, break point.
Yeah, and that's another thing I do quite like about tennis is that you can have players that have these weird techniques that may not look like, they're not very aesthetically pleasing. Brooksby comes to mind, but then they can be so effective as well, and that's kind of why I like tennis, because you can be deceived by these kind of players who hit a good ball but don't have the general. We've
got a moonball rally going on here on break point, and Townsend puts the forehand into the net inside out. Deuce.
That's big.
There was a lot of tension in there, and yeah, she tried to go for the inside out forehand and wrong part of the net.
Yeah, and Azarenka almost missed that off the return as well, and somehow wins that point.
Gets it out of gets it herself out of trouble there. Somehow the return from Townsend lands on the baseline. Azarenka still trying to push her back with the forehand. Backhand cross court from Townsend. Forehand Azarenka just closing that drop shot from Townsend. Azarenka can't reach it. Drop shot's too good, and it's another break point for Taylor Townsend.
Nice bit of variety.
Excellent, excellent shot from Taylor Townsend. That's the kind of tennis that we put her in there, to put her in this position, give herself an opportunity to go set and a break up in this match. Victoria Azarenka is stepping up. We're seeing Townsend now just waiting for Azarenka to get ready. Azarenka's kicking the dirt off the baseline. She looks so annoyed right now. Really, really annoyed. Navarro is in trouble as well. Ghosty will definitely be happy with that. We've got Azarenka serving out wide. Great first serve, but Townsend finds a way of getting it in play. Runs down that one with a backhand slice. Forehand inside out from Azarenka. Frustrated that Townsend has run everything down, has put it in the tram line, and Townsend breaks. She leads by a set and 2-1 with a break.
Wow. Haven't seen it yet, but
I'm just having a look. In football news, Liverpool have just scored 2-1 McAllister.
yeah, I saw that.
I mean, to be honest, I'm going to say that I'm not a Liverpool fan. I just want Klopp to win. Like, that's it. I'm just like, once Klopp goes, I'm not going to be bothered about supporting Liverpool anymore. Jante Navarro's in trouble. Yeah, it's 4-all, 15-all on Christian's serve on the live score right now. Meanwhile, Dario Casacchino's 3 points away from securing the match against Angelina Kalinina. Is there anything happening in the men's events, Jerome?
Just checking now. So yeah, Vukic won that first set 13-11 in the tiebreak, and then Offner came back and dominated the second set, and now they're locked in a third set. The score is 3-2 on serve, Offner leading.
And this is in Marrakesh.
That's in Marrakesh, yeah. What's happening with Navarro? She's setting a break, or
no breaks. It's 4-all first, 4-all second set. So, and actually Navarro is is at 15-30. So she's got potential opportunity to carve herself out a break point again on the Christian serve. So Townsend stepping up to try and serve to consolidate here. Azarenka is changing rackets, kind of dragging things out. Jean updating us that Stan Wawrinka lost to Navone, who seems to be coming on strong this year.
Really strong. Back end of last year as well. Winning. I think he won a couple of challenges in a row. But yeah, really like his grit and determination. He's a solid clay court player. I always find it interesting these South Americans who come through the playing those clay challenges, and then they make it into these 250s and even further. And it's interesting to see how they actually adapt to being on the main tour and playing hard court events. And we've seen it with someone like Baez, who's actually turned out to be Tabula as well, who won in Auckland this year. So yeah, it's good when it pays off, but sometimes I think it's a lot harder for them to adjust and get used to playing hard courts for a majority of the year. But
yeah, we've seen that plenty of times with other South American players. You're absolutely right. I mean, Navone is not someone I'd heard of before. I'm going to be honest. I mean, Damien probably would have, but how old is he?
Navone. Yeah, he's 22, I think.
Okay, so not too much of a late bloomer. Like 22, still young.
Let's see how old he is. He is 23, actually. Sorry, just turned 23. But yeah, not much of a late bloomer, but I suppose takes a while to adjust.
Azarenka forced an error with a great forehand return, and it's 30-40. So just to say for this game, Townsend hit 2 really amazing serves, but then a couple of but Azarenka's been kind of forcing the issue when she has been getting the ball back in play, and it's 30-40 for Victoria Azarenka, who then puts the return into the net off a tricky tee serve from Townsend. So it's deuce. Kasatkina is through. Thanks, John. She is into the quarterfinals. Beats Angelina Kalinina. Keep an eye on all things Charleston. I haven't actually looked at Bogota yet. That's the other WTA event that's happening at the minute, but there's not so many big names, unless, of course, you're a Brit and you're following the progress of Fran Jones.
Is she in Bogota?
Yeah. She's actually won a match.
She won? Really?
Yeah. She's playing tonight, about midnight. Azarenka's got herself another break point, by the way. So, again, forcing an error for from Townsend, who potentially could be conceding her advantage very, very quickly. We've got another break point to save. Goes out wide with the backhand in play from Azarenka, who fist pumps because that backhand was too darn good. It's a winner, and it's 2-2.
Back on serve.
Great result from Azarenka, and she's fist pumping. She's not done yet. This could be a real battle out here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it went 3.
We've been having some good matches in Charleston, albeit I haven't seen the ones that everyone's been raving about, because there were 2 really good 3-setters, like in the middle of the night UK time. Katie Voyets playing against Arantha Rus in a dramatic match.
She's been in a couple of big matches recently, Volnets.
And I don't know if Nolan's still here, but I owe an apology because he asked a question about Voyets and I dismissed it.
Why?
Well, I thought it was a random question.
What was
but
the
also
question?
Voyets seemed to be.
What was the question? I'm intrigued.
It was like, "What's your opinion on Katie Voyets?" I was like, "Well, actually, he was asking Isabel specifically."
Oh, I see.
And I was
3 hours and 55 minutes.
It was a mad long match,
What?
and it went to a deciding tiebreak as well. And Rus had match points in that tiebreak. Didn't challenge a sketchy call. Oh no, she stopped mid-rally to challenge a call because she thought the mark was out, and the umpire confirmed it was actually in. So she stopped the point for no reason, and then Voyets took advantage.
I mean, that explains why she got pumped 1-1 against Navarre in the next round.
That is true, yeah.
4-hour match. Liverpool are 3-1 up now.
Wow. Azarenka's double fault, and she's doubled over after that. 15-30. Liverpool 3-1 up. Yeah, that's they probably worried themselves a little bit there.
Yeah, I mean,
that would have been embarrassing if they cost themselves a title with an own goal against Sheffield United.
Yeah, quite. But I mean, I can't. It's really tough to call. Really tough to call this year. I think.
You can't call who's going to win it, but it would just be ironic if that was the cause of it.
No, I know, but I'm trying to think. I mean, I just can't see City not winning it somehow. But this is Liverpool's year, to be honest.
Ace from Azarenka, who got an unreturnable serve earlier, so she's at 40-30. And then the other big 3-setter that happened in Charleston, again, past my bedtime, was a match between Pegula taking out Anisimova in 3 sets, coming from a set down.
Yeah.
Oh, Tatiana Maria in trouble in Bogota, according to Sean. Tatiana Maria, 2-time defending champion. Well, in the last 2 years. Her ranking would take a big hit if she doesn't defend. Azarenka holds, by the way, 3-2. I think she's held. Yeah. And Emma Navarro is serving to stay in the match against Christian, 4-5. Jean, unfortunately, I do not have the ability to watch matches back with the TV package I have. I can only watch live tennis. I can't watch replays.
Well, you can watch the highlights, surely.
I can watch highlights. I just can't watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Amanda Anisimova back playing really, really good tennis, as John's saying. Really, only good thing for tennis.
Yeah, I mean, one of my celebrity crushes. But we won't get into that.
Yeah, we don't do that here.
Ghosty asked me, "Are you cool with the changes to FFP?" To be honest, I'm a Stoke fan, and I don't know if you know about Stoke, but we're owned by one of the richest family in England. Who are the owners of Bet365, the online betting site, and they own us. So we've got, I mean, a ridiculous amount of money in the bank, but it's kind of like having a really good sledge, but it never snows. That's the analogy I use, because we've got loads of money that we could just pump into it, but now with the FFP rules, we have to be so careful about spending it that there's just no point having it. I mean, it's good backup, if we ever need it, but we actually can't.
It stops you from going under, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. But we can't really use it to our purpose. But yeah.
I was trying to work out what you meant by FFP, and of course you mean financial fair play. Does tennis need financial fair play?
Well, that's another topic actually about talk about Saudi. But I mean, I don't know if you want to get into that.
We can do. Yeah. By the way, Azarenka's hit a passing shot right in front of Townsend, and has love 15 on Townsend's serve. So happy to talk about it. We might have to have it in bits between the action.
Yeah.
So I mean, you were talking about the WTA finals, right?
Yeah. And I think generally with the whole Saudi takeover of tennis, I think can be talked about. Really, really divisive issue. But yeah.
Yeah, it is a divisive issue. I
think I mean, it's a tough one because I don't want to tread on eggshells, but I mean, I can see both sides, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, inevitably, the Saudis are going to take over in most sports, and I think that is something that we can't really stop, and we've just got to now try and work towards making it the best possible product for people and for tennis ultimately.
Yeah, I mean, the introduction of Saudi money threatens to split the sport, because obviously you've got the Grand Slams and the Masters trying to do their own thing now because they don't like the deal that's being made. Interestingly, there seems to be behind the scenes talk that they're now trying to find the Saudi try and find an alternative from a different Gulf state, but that's a whole different topic. Look, at the end of the day, if the Saudis can do a really, really good event for the WTA finals, good for them. I probably will never go. But in terms of the reason being, it's very far out. Like, it would have to be a very, like, I'd have to really treat myself.
I don't think it's more about us going. I think it's more about bringing tennis to them almost.
That's true. But like, Qatar and Dubai have had tennis for 2 decades, 3 decades.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you saw this, but on the tennis podcast, I think at the back end of last year, Matt, one of the co-hosts,
I used to listen to them a long time ago.
Yeah, he obviously he's gay and open about it, and he and Billie Jean King were talking about it, and it was really
horrible double fault from Townsend. Sorry,
yeah. Is that 30 or
30-40? Great point, Azarenka. It's a shame. That's covered a really important point.
Yeah, well, let's watch this.
But like, I do want you to finish what you were sharing. But anyway, 30-40. Townsend now serving, goes up the tee, forehand in play from Azarenka. It's not just long. So Townsend saves it. The Rika return just miscued. Deuce. Yeah, so we've got to get through this game. And Townsend goes up wide with a serve. Great serve, ace. Kicks out of range of Azarenka's racket. Wrong Belarusian again. Advantage Townsend. Might be digging herself out of trouble here. Great serve from Townsend.
Would be another big hold for her.
Goes up, it goes body serve, but misses it. Second serve to try and finish this game off for Taylor Townsend. High tension in this set. Goes out, body serve, backhand from Azarenka is too good. It's too deep, and Townsend was going backwards, practically trying to pick it up. Azarenka celebrating. Deuce. Are Belarusians Slavic? I thought they were too close to Russia for that. Ranajit, I think it's too close to call who's going to win this match.
Right now. Really, really too close to call. I mean, I'd probably
backhand up the line from Azarenka. She's forcing momentum in her favor at the minute. Advantage break point. Yeah, I don't know where you were going with that, Jerome.
Yeah, I mean, I really can't call it. I mean, I probably would have to say Azarenka, but
I do feel like Townsend's the slightly more fragile player at the minute. Wasn't the case in the first set. Definitely is now. Unreturnable serve. Again, tricky kick from Townsend up the tee. That being said, if Townsend holds here, I like her chances of putting this away in straight.
Yeah, definitely. It's a moment. It's a big moment in the match, this game.
Deuce. Townsend serves up the tee. Backhand from Azarenka to the short. To the backhand of Townsend. Goes cross court. And now there's questions over whether that was in or out. The umpire's off the chair. Townsend looks over, trudges back. She's kind of given up on it because, yeah, that backhand was wide. And it's another breakpoint opportunity for Victoria Azarenka.
She's not going away.
Townsend has this weird, like, that backhand is just so... It's flat, but there's not much else to it.
Yeah.
Ace again, by the way. Saves the break point.
Gutsy from Taylor.
Yeah, what were you going to say about the backhand?
No, you're talking about Azarenka's backhand.
Townsend's backhand.
Sorry,
I think I said the wrong name.
It was who's Sabalenka? What do you mean? As in her quite flat? You mean?
Yeah, it's very flat, but it's not like she does anything with the flatness.
Yeah, it's extremely flat. I mean, it's. I think it's only
like she doesn't
really
weaponize it.
Yeah, it's only really there if she's kind of got the space to hit into. I don't think it's a very good, defensive shot or turning defense into attack. She'd probably prefer to finish points with it. I'd say, not work the points with it.
Yeah, it's functional.
Ghosty, is Fuchsovich the fittest man in tennis? No, I think I am personally. But,
oh my word. Okay. By the way, forehand up the line winner from Townsend to seal the game 3-all. That was a big moment.
Gutsy hold there.
So let's see if Azarenka can hold this. But do you want to finish your point you were making that you're sharing from Matt for the Tennis Podcast?
Yeah, I was just saying it was really I advise anyone to listen to the clip of it. It's really interesting. He's obviously openly gay and he was talking with Billie Jean King about it, and he was kind of so against the idea, and rightly so. I mean, they've got a horrific human rights record. They're known to not really give women rights, and Billie Jean King was making the point that we've got to break down this barrier. We've got to venture out there bring tennis out there and kind of stop the barriers, because otherwise the sport is not going to grow. And it's really interesting to see them both talk about it. You know, both
And
in the situations that they're in.
I think Billie Jean King's got a point. You know, what's a better advertisement than seeing women compete in elite sport in Saudi that they obviously want people from home to go to? By the way, Azarenka's to put away a forehand 15-all. And I think Ghosty also makes a good point, is that, you know, it's not like the West, which is where we seem to want tennis to be permanently based, has got a great record either.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brilliant point. I mean, I think people need to realize, you know, as well, you know, sports washing is probably a thing, but at
We've
this
done
point,
it too.
sorry?
Yeah,
I think it's now it's about moving forward and working with it and you know, trying to find the best solutions for things.
I always say, if someone comes to you with a lot of money, it's best not to ask too many questions about where they got it from.
I mean,
maybe that's just a consequence of me living in Stoke, but
I found it really interesting actually when Nadal came out as the one of the ambassadors, and then suddenly, you know, everyone's a bit quiet there. I mean, if you're going to talk about sports washing and stuff like this, but you know, talk about, I mean, it's another topic.
I think we've kind of made the point with it. Look, it's going there. It's not where I would have picked. I would have wanted to go somewhere with a great atmosphere that's going to get a lot of fans, like Prague or London or Berlin. But hey,
I think
sure it'll be a flashy venue. I'm sure it'll look great.
In saying that, I think having it in England would be a mistake.
I said Prague. Yeah, Prague or Berlin are other options. By the way, Azarenka's got break points against her after 2 amazing returns from Taylor Townsend.
Townsend's got break points. Oh, against her, you said.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Townsend has a chance to take a break advantage again in this set. Azarenka serving with a second serve. Townsend has hit 2 amazing returns to get to this point. Then goes for that backhand return. Azarenka loops up the forehand. Townsend puts the backhand into the net. She's missed the first break point, and Azarenka is celebrating that she's still in this. 30-40.
Wow.
So here we go. Townsend's got another opportunity here. Azarenka had chances in the last game. They're both right in it. This is a highly competitive match. Chop return in from Townsend. Now goes for the forehand up the line. Misses it. Over the baseline. Deuce. 2 opportunities missed by Taylor Townsend.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a really, really good match. It's a really interesting battle between these two.
It's back and forth.
Big matches going on. What have we got? What's going on? So by the way, I'm just keeping an eye on a few different things. Navarro's got set points, by the way, to make it 3 all.
I think she saved a couple of match points, didn't she?
I wasn't checking the scores. I was focusing on the match. So I think she has saved match points, and now she's got 40-15 to take it to a third against Christian.
Azarenka's got a point for 4-3.
Serves out wide. Forehand from Townsend. I need to call her Townsend. What am I talking about? Is this a Sabalenka Townsend match? Deuce, as Azarenka's put it into the net. Really good return from Townsend. I don't know. I can't call this match today. I don't know who's playing.
Yeah, Fred, that will be John and Damien. We've got them on the ground in Estoril this week, covering all the action for you. So check out all the socials. We'll be putting out content from across Estoril this week. Some daily vlogs and updates as well. So stay tuned.
Yeah, unless of course, Fred, you were actually in Estoril, in which case, you know, I'm sure John will say hi.
Oh, of course. Is that you might have meant that? I mean,
yeah, meant literally. Who knows?
Yeah.
Serves out wide from Azarenka. In play from Townsend, who keeps it short. Slice from Azarenka. Looped forehand, cross court from Townsend, and game point Azarenka. Real battle here. Navarro sealed the second set, so we're going 3 on Credit One Stadium. Mertens has knocked out Gracheva. And obviously there's still matches to play. So after this match here on Althea Gibson Court, Haddad Meyer is taking on Veronika Kudermetova. Backhand, the forehand, cross court. Forehand Azarenka, sliced from Townsend. Inside out forehand from Azarenka. Forehand cross court from Townsend. Now backhand cross court from Townsend, really short. Forehand Azarenka up the middle. Slice from Townsend. Forehand, backhand Azarenka. That attempt at a forehand slice from Townsend ends up in the net. That was a give-up shot, and it's game Azarenka, and they're changing ends at 4-3.
That's a massive hold. From 15-40 down, huge point in the match.
Ghosty, I'm going to answer your points. First one for your honest question. They're just as bad as each other. And I think that's the point where I'm trying to make is I'm not gonna. I agree with you fundamentally around we're no better in the West, and then but in the reasons why I would support, I wouldn't necessarily support it going to DC. Although if they had a good venue, I'd be up for that. But in terms of the venues that I suggested, like Prague or Berlin, it was literally just you'd get a packed crowd, and that's the only reason. If you want a great TV event, you go to Riyadh. And there's pros and cons to both. I think we agree on more.
Yeah, I have to back that up. I wasn't disagreeing with that point, by the way. I don't know. Ghosty thinks that I'm disagreeing, but I was making the point as well. I think it's got to accept where things are going.
Yeah.
But I do think some of your opinions, Ghosty, are sometimes invalid, but that's all right. We can agree to disagree sometimes.
That's the only opinions of Ghosties that are invalid, maybe, is who's going to win a tweener contest between the two of you. So yeah. Right, we've got Townsend stepping out at 3-4. So she's now missed opportunities, and I'd say she's missed more opportunities than Azarenka's missed because, I think the break points that Townsend had, she wasted, whereas Azarenka couldn't do anything about the ones that Townsend saved.
Yeah, I agree. I think, but it's so gutsy from Azarenka. She's been down pretty much all of this match, and she's somehow still fighting and still not far away from. If she can get a break here, you'd feel like she might run away with it. But
forehand drop shot into the net from Townsend. Why is she going for that shot so often? I'm worried that she's trying to bail out of some of these rallies.
Yeah, she's that mid court as well. Azarenka would have easily been up to it. It's the wrong shot choice.
Backhand dumped into the net from Townsend, love 30. Jean's updating us that Offner's broken back for 5-5 when Vukic was serving for the match.
Oh, wow.
Drama all over the world in tennis.
Townsend. That is just poor. She's really tight now, Townsend. Really tight on that backhand side.
Really short first serve there as well. Pushes Azarenka back with that forehand, but Azarenka's forehand just clips the line. Now Azarenka goes for the half volley from the mid-court, and backhand wide from Townsend. Love 40.
Well.
She had opportunities to push Azarenka back, but there is it does feel like Townsend's taken a dip. She is now stepping up to try and save 3 more break points. This set has been a real roller coaster. Agree with you, Jean. I think Azarenka might win the match. Yeah, forehand dumped into the net by Townsend. Azarenka is going to serve at 5-3 for this set.
Yeah.
They've been playing for nearly 2 hours now. It's mad. Like,
yeah, gritty match. And I think we could see Azarenka take the second set.
I think it's highly likely given the way Townsend's playing. Like, I think Townsend should probably go off court and try and recover a bit.
Do you reckon? Yeah. Have a bit of a regroup.
I think she's struggling physically.
Well, do you think?
It's the only reason I can think of for these like shots that are being slapped or
she's
trying to
finish.
out.
She's trying to finish the point quite easily.
As she does there with that forehand that's just dragged into the tram lines. Like, she's in the rallies, but she's clearly going for stuff to try and end it. Or like, even if she's not necessarily trying to end it, like, I feel like the tiredness is setting into the swing. I don't know. This is like me drawing on my knowledge as an amateur player, but I can definitely tell you when I'm tired on the court, my strokes are not the same as when I'm sort of got a rhythm going. Great backhand went up the line from Azarenka. 30 love.
Yeah, in full flow now. By the way, another news. Chelsea were 2-0 up against Man United, and now Man United are 3-2 up.
John Silk is probably watching from a bar in Portugal, a very happy man.
Yeah, that is true. That's exactly what he's doing, actually. He's loving life at the moment. Beer in hand, United comeback win.
Townsend's gone cross court with a forehand, and that one's actually worked. 30-15.
No beats Purcell in straights. Wow, that's also, I'd say that's a bit of an upset.
Yeah, that's it. Given the form Mo was in compared to Purcell, I'd agree. Backhand dragged wide from Townsend, set points for Azarenka.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Azarenka, 40-15. Steps up. Goes body serve. Backhand in play from Townsend. Forehand from Azarenka. Backhand into the net from Townsend. And it's over. This set is over. It's 1-set all. We're going the distance here. How much does Townsend have left in the tank? Azarenka looks motivated. She's ready to go. We've spent an hour and 53 minutes on court.
Yeah. I mean, it's really tough for Townsend now. I feel like she had to win that second set. I think now the momentum is definitely with Azarenka. It's going to be tough for Townsend to keep up, I think.
What's the longest match you've ever played?
Me?
Yeah, you personally. What's the match like in your amateur tennis career? I'm assuming you're an amateur. Correct me if not. But what's the longest match you've ever played?
It's a good question. I think, well, it depends because it's a bit different, but I play at LTA tournaments, and often they're fast four tournaments done in a day to try and get the tournament done in a day. So first to 4 in each set, and often I'll be playing 4 matches, back to back with maybe a half an hour break in between. So and that is tough. But a single match, I think the longest I've played is probably nearing 3 hours, probably 2.5. And I was blowing after that.
Yeah,
sometimes in those long matches, I'm like on the verge of like throwing up when you're giving it your all for 2.5. I don't know how these guys do it for 5 hours. I mean,
probably because they do play so often. So yeah, but you're right. It's just so impressive. I mean, like I've not gone that. I think my longest match I've done is 2 hours, and that was a 3-setter because they were not long rallies.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 hours. I've definitely rare for me to play for longer than an hour, but I think the quality of opponents that I deal with are less than you. No offense to the tennis game in Stoke.
Yeah.
But also, I'm the one who usually loses.
Yeah. I've actually got back-to-back tournaments this weekend, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. So I'll let you know how they go.
You're the marathon man. Like
It's doubles on Saturday, so it's a bit easier for the.
How long's that format been around for a while? Because I've not heard of those sort of shorter format, everything in a day.
Yeah, it's actually been around for quite a while, this fast four format. It was originally with first to 5, but then now they've cut it down to 4, and it works well. But the only annoying thing is that you could be finding a rhythm, and then suddenly you've lost a set. Because
it's the same format as Next Gen have.
Yeah. But they play best of 5, I think.
Okay. Yeah, they do.
And but that's the only issue, because you're just wondering, you could lose to someone that you probably should have beaten if you had more time to get back into the sets. But yeah. Anyway, Townsend starting well in this third set.
Yeah, she's come out swinging, forehand winner for 30 love. Yeah, I think she did go off court. That did feel like a bit of a break. But she certainly seems to be bringing what energy she has to this. I tell you what, both players are returning super well. Like, I don't think they're missing that many first serves, but the return games of both is just in play. Great forehand pass from Azarenka.
Yeah.
Though I think Townsend did give her oodles of space and not a great volley to play off. Jean is bringing his commentary of Vukic versus Offner.
It does sound like a crazy match, especially that first set tiebreak that went all the way to 13-11.
Forehand Azarenka up the middle. Backhand Azarenka off the top of the net. Townsend's having to run into it, gets to it, but she puts the forehand wide. And it's 30 all. Sydney said deuce, but practically the same thing. In terms of both players are 2 points away from this match, and a little bit of fortune going Azarenka's way. So yeah, critical point here for Taylor Townsend. She does not want to go the early breakdown and give herself a mountain to climb. Great forehand in play from Azarenka. Backhand sliced from Azarenka. Forehand up the line from Townsend. Now we've got drop shot from Townsend. Azarenka's going to get to it and passes Townsend. Again, not a great drop shot. Not a great approach shot. And Azarenka makes Townsend pay, and now she has break point.
Yeah. Yeah, great. I feel like this was coming with the momentum.
I think Townsend started this game really positively, but couple of that sort of tactical error, and then that bit of poor fortune.
But again, she's trying these drop shot, death shots.
They're not as effective as they were earlier in the match. She has saved the break point with an ace.
Yeah, but still at the wrong time though. Like there, Azarenka easily up to it. Yeah, some big serving from Taylor.
Again, forehand slice on the defense, slice on the backhand. She's really having to work hard on the defense, being moved side to side by Azarenka, and the forehand is dumped into the net. She was way behind the baseline, though, very much on the stretch, on the slice, on the defense. And Azarenka has break point again. Meanwhile, Navarro's a breakdown against Christian as Navarro double faulted break point down, according to Jean, who is our man with the screens. He's got eyes everywhere, as Jean. Townsend missed the first serve wide, trying to go for the tee. Townsend does not want to be the one who double faults. Wrong American. goes out wide. Backhand. Oh, my word. Azarenka puts it almost into the backboard. And it's deuce. That was it did have a little bit of a kick on the serve, but I think Azarenka kind of hit that one. I'm assuming you're seeing it now.
Not even yet. Just about yeah now.
Oh, okay.
Slapped it.
Backhand from Townsend, looped up moonball. Backhand from Azarenka, forehand cross court from Townsend. Backhand Azarenka looped up again. Forehand Townsend into the net, trying to deal with the loop. And again, it's a break point for Azarenka. Third one this game, and Jake is here to celebrate his favorite player.
Coming in when the momentum is very much well and truly with her.
Winner of this match plays the winner of the match that's happening right now between Cristiano and Navarro, I think. Could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going on there. I think that's why they've scheduled everything in this way, so there's no one with a massive advantage. Serve from Townsend out wide, slice it from Azarenka. Navarro's Townsend coming to the net, finished it with an overhead. Oh, the winner of this match plays Pegula. I knew it was an All-American. I knew it had the potential of being All-American. That's right, because I was about to say potential to set up an All-American match, and I forgot which American it was.
Yeah, well, the number 1 seed.
Who's looking a lot better at the minute than she has been recently.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's only played 1 match, but...
No, did she play 2 matches?
She played 2. Oh, yeah, of course. Anisimova and then Lynette.
Yeah, she beat Anisimova in a tough battle and then steamrolled Lynette.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Vukic and Offner in a third set tiebreak. I can see this going to 12-14 or something.
That could end up being one of the matches of the year. It's another epic tiebreak.
Yeah.
Might have to add it to my list. Another breakpoint opportunity for Victoria Azarenka, as Townsend again concedes a forced error.
I'll wait to this to ask you a question after this game.
Taylor Townsend, she's got another breakpoint to save. I think it's a 4th one of this game. She's saved 3 so far. What's she got to do with this? First serve goes out wide. That's an ace.
She loves saving these breakpoints with aces.
She's probably wondering where all this was in the service game she got broken in.
Yeah. Yeah, both players hitting the ball nicely in this one. But I'll wait to the game, actually. I'll wait to the game.
Yeah. This is only the opening game of the 3rd set. This is only the opening game of the 3rd set. We could be here for a while, Jerome.
Well, we've already been here for a while. We're locked in.
We're committed.
Yeah, we're through it now. Me and Kira a few weeks ago had I think it was the same one. It was Azarenka Putintseva, and it was...
Oh, Azarenka's trying to go up the line, drags it just wide, advantage Townsend. So you're here for the marathons, are you?
Yeah, I think it's... I'm glad I had dinner before doing this because...
I think we were very smart with our scheduling.
Yeah, I made that mistake last time, and I was having dinner at 10:30 or something. But
great serve out wide from Townsend, unreturnable, and it's game Townsend. And this set is we finally get a game on the board in this set. It's a Townsend gritty hold after 10 minutes.
I was going to ask you. So John was asking me about WTA Match of the Year last year because they compiled a list or something. I didn't know what the list was.
Fantastic. If you can find them, go back and watch them or listen to them as podcasts. They were great episodes.
What do you mean listen to them as podcasts?
You can listen to the Match of the Year Talking Tennis.
Oh, was it an episode?
You can listen to an episode. Yeah. So it's 1 episode per match.
Oh, I see. Wow. Okay. Yeah, well, I was just gonna say because they put Sabalenka Rybakina Australian Open final.
Yeah.
Purely because of it was a final. Yeah, I do get that. But I would put a case for the Svitolina Azarenka Wimbledon match.
If Ghosty was still here, you've probably won some brownie points with him.
Really?
Yeah, that was. I think that was his pick.
I think yeah. I mean, I remember watching that, and I think that was actually an epic. I feel like, yeah, the final was a 3-setter. I don't know if it was an epic as much, but yeah, it's still some good matches.
I think the fact it's a final gives a match an extra bit of drama.
Yeah, no, definitely, and obviously you can't really compete with Djokovic, Alcaraz, Wimbledon.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was Djokovic, Alcaraz, Wimbledon that topped the men's list as well.
Yeah.
Because like we had it's top 7 WTA, top 7 ATP. But yeah, it was a. I see what you mean. Like, I'm going to be honest. I was dual screening that match because I was also trying to watch Swiatek Bencic, which was an epic for a different reason. And so I was dual screening it. But I could tell the Azarenka Svitolina match was really, really good. But I was more concerned with watching it to see if Swiatek got over the line against Bencic. But from what I did, I think it finished just before, so I caught the sort of the end of the Azarenka Svitolina match, and it was so good.
The best bit of it. So yeah.
Yeah, so I caught the right part. So yeah, it was really, really good. I probably wouldn't have picked, although having said that, if I'm talking about which my favorite match of last year was, I wouldn't have picked Rybakina Sabalenka either.
What would you
for the Australian Open final? I would have picked the Madrid final. Sabalenka beating Swiatek.
Yeah. Yeah. Another good match. Yeah.
And that was because of the crazy momentum changes, like in every single set. I'm just trying to. I think Azarenka Svitolina was rated, according to John's list, the 6th best match of 2020. The 6th best WTA match of 2023.
Which one?
Svitolina Azarenka.
Oh, 6th, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting because I looked on another website that ranked them, and that was 2nd for them. So
yeah, no, this is John's list. He didn't consult anyone. He just did the list.
It's a good. Svorna makes a good point there. I mean, yeah. Also, I don't know if you saw, but did you see the attempted racket smash the other day from Rybakina in Miami? I was shocked. I'd never seen that.
Yeah, I did see that
sort of emotion from it. I'd never seen it.
Oh! Azarenka tried to lob Townsend. It looked good, but the umpires checked it. It's actually out. So really? It's a great point, Taylor Townsend.
This match is good at all.
Really does. Yeah, I'll probably tell you what the other matches choices were. I agree with. I can see what you mean, Shauna, with Rybakina, but for me, like the momentum changes everything. Great serve out wide from Azarenka to save the break point, unreturned. Deuce. I think the Australian Open final was a really, really good match, but I think most of the drama was seeing Rybakina pressure Sabalenka and seeing whether Sabalenka cut over the line. Whereas the Madrid final, you had bits where Swiatek was on top, then you had bits where Sabalenka was on top, then it switched back and it would switch during sets. Whereas I feel like set 1 in Australia was definitely all Rybakina. Set 2 was all Sabalenka. Set 3 could have gone either way early on. Then Sabalenka had the momentum. And so, like, for me, that would be like drama's always got the edge to it, rather than sort of how expressive the players are. Because let's face it, Swiatek isn't super expressive either, and she wasn't during that Madrid match.
No, definitely, I do agree.
And also, let's face it. I mean, I'm not gonna. I know, and I'm biased, but what if I was biased? I wouldn't pick a match Swiatek lost. Otherwise, I'd pick Garcia in Beijing, which was on the list. Azarenka serves an ace to close the game out, by the way, 1-1.
What is it? What is it? If I don't mind me asking, what is it about Swiatek that you like so much?
I love her game style. I love the high spin. I've said before, prefer watching heavy top spin games. Weird, given coming from a Federer fan. but I also really like how that sort of heart in the mouth that she has. I have that heart in the mouth moment whenever she hits, particularly the forehand, and it will land on the baseline, and you wonder how on earth she pulled that off. And there's the sort of level of intensity that comes with her, like she just comes at you constantly. And while she doesn't play stylistically similar to Federer, it has those same sort of emotions of like when Roger hit something, it was like, how did he do that? Very different way. Like he was inventing shots, which Swiatek doesn't do in the same way. You know, but there's also that sort of, he just kept coming at you. Roger did.
Yeah.
I think, although having said, so that's sort of what appeals to me about Swiatek, is that sort of, it's right on the edge, watching her between absolute brilliance, of absolute, like, absolute brilliance. It does make me wonder why I was never more of a Nadal fan. I think the answer was because I saw Roger first.
Yeah. I mean,
but
it's one of the ones where you can't, I mean, it's weird, isn't it? I mean, a lot of people can be multiple, but you know, out of those big three, a lot of people tend to just have that one of those big three.
I love Rafa to bits.
No, of course.
He's a really nice guy. And I definitely rooted for him over Djokovic for most of his career. Sorry, John.
I'm watching the Ofner Vukic match.
This has to go down as one of the best matches of the year already.
It's 7-7 in the tiebreak now.
Drama everywhere. Townsend's just missed a backhand she's gone up the line with. Did she miss it? I'm going to watch her reaction. Yeah, she hit it. No, she hit a winner plumb on the line.
Now Vukic has match point 8-7.
Great stuff at the tee from Townsend, but even better return from Azarenka, puts it in an awkward place, and they're just running each other down at the minute. Great defending from Townsend, who does reach the ball with the slide, but just puts it long on the defense. It's 30-all. So Vukic gets the job done.
Yeah, that's poor from Offner there.
Meanwhile, 30-all. This match here in Charleston is just too tight right now. Very wide serve from Townsend. Very wide, trying to go tee. Go.
Jake, it's interesting, Jake. I don't know about you, Nick, but I don't really tend to meet that many Rafa fans.
Backhand into the net from Townsend. Break point. Thanks for the update on Navarro, Christian, because I was about to update that, but Navarro's in real trouble now. Christian gonna try and make up for the missed match points in the second set.
That's a poor backhand from Townsend, bottom of the net.
I get this feeling if Azarenka breaks here, she's gonna win this match. I think it's gonna be too much hard work for Townsend to break back. Goes out wide with the first serve. Second serve. No, not second serve. First serve again. Take two. That's what I'm going for. Serves at the tee. Scramble forehand in play from Azarenka, short, and Townsend picks it off with her inside out forehand deuce. How many break points has Townsend had to save in this match?
Yes, crazy amounts. Both players as well, actually. But in this set, specifically in this set, yeah.
Absolutely incredible battle going on here in Charleston. This may end up being one of the tournaments of the year.
Yeah, trying to psych herself up. The quality hasn't been the greatest, I would say, but there's been
I would agree with that. Yeah,
some good serving from both when they've been in trouble. So
brilliant from Townsend, who does an overhead backhand, the overhead backhand winner, and she roars advantage to the American.
Oh, the little flick of the wrist. That is nice.
This is why I enjoy watching Taylor Townsend.
little half volley like drive forehand there, and then a little flick of the wrist backhand. Jean, you're not the only one. I'm a Novak fan. I'm still here. Don't worry.
I think most of the Talking Tennis team are Novak fans, actually. Backhand winner from Azarenka on the return. Deuce. Actually, I don't know if John's told you, he's a Rafa fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, John's a Rafa.
Is it the headband?
I'd ask him. Yeah, Rafa's his choice. I don't think you've met Jethro yet, but no, you might have met Jethro, actually. Yeah, he's a Rafa fan as well.
I've actually not, but yeah.
So they are out there, but you're right. Most fans in the UK tend to be Roger fans.
Yeah, it's true. And
Or Andy.
yes. Sorry, we'll wait till break point, but I tend to think it's a bit unfair to say, oh yeah, Federer is the GOAT because of the pull he's had on the sport or whatever he's done. But I think people, I mean, that is obviously true, but I think people tend to forget what Djokovic has done as well.
Yeah,
I think that tends to get lost in the.
I think Djokovic has definitely achieved a little bit more than Federer.
Yeah,
great inside out forehand on the return from Azarenka off the Townsend forehand, and now does her own, and Azarenka does her own drop shot and outdoes Townsend at
and
her own
Nick's
game.
lost his voice.
Townsend has Azarenka has outdone Townsend at her own game, and
Nick cannot speak.
I've been commentating for 2 hours. I need a drink of water.
Water drop shot. See, that's the time to use it from Azarenka. That's the right time to use it.
Smart use.
She's ahead. She is ahead in this final set. She's ahead. This is the first time she's probably been ahead in the match, actually. Apart from the first couple of games.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I definitely think Rogers had more of an impact on winning a lot of British fans over to tennis. I do think Novak's had more of an impact than maybe a lot of British fans realise.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to know what the Talking Tennis, or at least the John Silk top 7 WTA matches of the last year were?
What?
Yeah, his order. So number 7 was Swiatek versus Garcia in Beijing. 6 was Svitolina against Azarenka at Wimbledon. 5 was Jabeur versus Sabalenka Wimbledon semi-final. 4 was Mukova Sabalenka French Open final, the semi-final. 3 was Swiatek Mukova French Open final. 2 was Sabalenka Swiatek Madrid final, and then the number 1 was Azarenka Sabalenka Rybakina final.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I'd probably shift them around a little bit, but it's a good list.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I think same list, different order, right?
Yeah, I agree. There's not any that are blatantly missing, so
no. Christian serving for the match 5-1, 15 love against Navarro. Townsend slaps a forehand into the net, 15 love Azarenka. Yeah, I think Sean Djokovic has been setting records that Federer dreamed of. I mean, he's pretty. If he wins the Olympics this year, he's literally completed tennis, and no one's ever done that.
Yeah, I'd sort of love him to do it, to be honest.
I kind of would be here. I would be here for it.
I mean, you want a story in sport, and Djokovic going out, finally completing the set. You want it.
Yeah. Forehand winner at the line from Townsend, 15-all. Yeah. So I think a lot of us will be like, I think the Olympics will be probably one of the few tournaments in my life where I've rooted for Djokovic.
Yeah. I mean, the Olympics is a weird one, isn't it? You kind of, and it's one of those tournaments where on the men's side, it's not as nailed on as the tournaments all year round. It's one of those ones where, you know, you have the likes of Zverev coming through and Murray a couple of times, like coming from not nowhere, but you know, you wouldn't have really guessed these kind of players going into the tournament. But yeah,
that's true. It has a few unexpected medalists, that's for sure.
Del Potro going far.
Yeah, two-time medalist actually. Del Potro,
I would love to see Casper do well, and I think he could actually.
Yeah, I saw a tweet as Sabalenka's dumped a drop shot attempt into the net, 30 all.
Stop saying Sabalenka.
Have I done that again?
Stop it.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Monica Puig, what a player.
That her one great moment, because she got injured, I think, straight after, and then didn't really play.
Yeah.
Huge forehand up the line from Sabalenka. Damn it again. Azarenka. This is Victoria Azarenka we're watching. This is why I'm not a professional.
Oh gosh.
I think we're both struggling for different reasons, Jerome.
Huge forehand from Sabalenka. Gets it done.
Wait, what?
I'm joking.
I mean, yeah. Oh! Vika puts the forehand +1 into the net.
Yeah, I think that's a better idea actually. Go for the Vika instead.
Go for Vika. Jean brings us news of Christian winning 6-1.
I think, was it the game in the second set where it was it was that big hold that put Azarenka 4-3 up?
Yeah, because
she saved a couple of break points there.
Because Townsend had saved break points, got the momentum, and then wasted a couple against Azarenka.
And then it's been all Azarenka now. It's been one-way traffic. That's fair to say, I think, as well. Even though the games have been tight, I think you've always it's been Azarenka, really.
Townsend out, as in the ball she's just hit is out, and Azarenka holds 3-1.
Any other action from across the courts? Christian that's over now.
Emma van Navarro is out.
Wow, that is big. Shelton, I didn't see that earlier, came through 3 sets against Bergs.
I think that was last night.
Was it? I mean, may well have been, yeah.
I think it was last night because I was seeing tweets about it earlier from a couple of Bergs fans that are on Twitter.
I was going to say, Bergs I think it's only really, I mean, I hate to say, I think his time is coming for him to really cement his status as an ATP player.
How old is he now?
He's getting older. I think he's 20, must be 24.
Don't say 24 is getting old.
Well,
how old are you, Jerome?
It's not much hope for you there, is there?
There definitely isn't hope. I'm way older than 24.
How old is he? He is. When was he born? He's 24.
Okay. There's still hope. There's still hope for him.
I'm 23, so that means there's still hope for me as well.
There's definitely still hope for you, Jerome. Dude, I'm about to enter my 4th decade.
Really? You're looking well for that then.
I mean, hang on. How old do you think I am?
I think you're what? Look about mid 30s, I'd say.
Oh no. So when I say 4th decade, I mean 30.
Oh,
you've actually put me older than I actually am.
I was gonna say, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
that was my
So
bad.
fourth decade technically starts with 30 because your
Yeah,
first
yeah,
decade is when
yeah.
you start at 0. Second
Um,
decade is at 10. Third decade is 20.
Sorry, in other news, Chelsea have just scored a 90 plus 10-minute
Oh.
penalty.
Oh.
I hate to see that. I hate to see
The
it.
drama of extra time breaking John
Hate it.
Stokes' heart.
Stoppage, Fergie time. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Palmer
Oh,
as
that's
well.
deeply ironic that Fergie time has worked against Manchester United.
Yeah, I don't really like that at all. Casper Ruud, I don't know. I just saw he's won pretty comfortably earlier today against Botic. That's good
Yeah,
to
you would
see.
expect this is Estoril to be the kind of tournament he'd win from previous years in his career.
Yeah, I mean, now I think with the clay 250s, it's sort of his bread and butter, isn't it?
But they weren't last year, and they
Yeah,
weren't
you're
really
right.
the year before either. Like he
Yeah,
started
he had a,
faltering in them, but that's
yeah,
when he
he had,
started getting good at the big events.
yeah, it's true. He had a bit of trouble against Sarundalo last year, I think, in one of them. But yeah, it's a
He's got
tricky
his
one.
mojo back there a little bit, I'd say, Casper.
A little bit. I mean, I mean, yeah, a little bit, but I still think we've got. There's a lot to see from him. He's lost 2 finals already this year. I mean,
Yeah, though, and yeah, a couple of them slightly disappointing. I mean, like Dimonor wasn't a bad loss necessarily, but maybe still winnable. By the way, Townsend seals the game with a backhand cross-court winner. She's still very much in this match.
oh my gosh, Palmer's just scored again
No,
in the 101st minute.
Chelsea just won.
4-3. Oh my days.
Chelsea just done to Man United what Man United did to Liverpool in the FA Cup.
That is incredible. Oh my gosh. Yeah, literally, Sean. I mean, they add on a minimum of 8 minutes every time now. So
I'm just going to get myself a drink of water because otherwise my voice is
yeah.
going to give out.
Oh, you
I'll be
hate to
straight
see
back in
that.
10 seconds.
And you can just imagine they're all the Chelsea plastics are out.
There we go. Right. Might sound like a human again. So, what other matches do we have to look forward to for those of us who might be staying up? If you can, or you're in the right time zone for it. So, following this match is Haddad Maya Kutamatova. That's going to be a battle.
That would be a good match.
Straight after that match is Svitolina versus Mertens.
That's a good match.
Both of whom obviously won today.
Stevens Collins as well.
Yeah, which obviously, again, both won today. That starts in about 40 minutes. And then after that match will be Sharma and Zachary.
Wow.
Zachary was my pre-tournament pick for the title.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, might regret it, but I'm feeling good about Zachary at the minute.
Yeah, don't mind. I mean, me too. I'm really enjoying seeing her playing some good tennis. I mean, she's pretty decent she's pretty nifty on clay, isn't she?
Zachary, yes. Yeah, I'd say it's her bread and butter surface.
Yeah, precisely. So
maybe more hard. No, like slower courts, definitely.
Yeah, like Indian Wells,
Guadalajara.
Yeah, exactly.
That being said, obviously I think Zachary was my pre-tournament pick, but that was because I wasn't confident in Pegula's form. Watching Pegula coming through this, she looks good to maybe get herself another title.
Yeah.
And then it depends if Danielle Collins keeps the momentum going, she's probably the favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the draw now, and I can't call it.
No.
I would.
Stevens is playing well. Svitolina's playing well again.
Yeah, I can't see Azarenka going far. Yeah, I mean, I do like a bit of Sakari. I think it could well be a Sakari Pegula final, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. That would be like a top 10 final would be really, really good.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. I'd like that, actually. John, how are we feeling, buddy?
Do you really want to ask him that?
John, how are we feeling? Where? I mean, I'm not happy either, but I
Oh,
mean,
fair. Jean, yeah, Stevens did. I watched the Stevens match against Layla, and she did look good. She did look like she had the edge, although I was very impressed with the way Layla dug in and made it difficult. John, we've been bringing live football updates. Was that not what we were supposed to do?
I think everyone in the chat is enjoying this stream as well. We're talking about the wider issues in tennis. We've had it all tonight.
You've also had me saying the wrong player's name multiple times in various different ways.
Yeah, it's been
one really obvious one, and then there's been a couple of other ones. Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to stick with Vika now. I think that's gonna help you.
I've been doing all right so far with Azarenka.
It's the anchor that gets you.
Yeah, the anchor is the yeah.
but it's weird because anchor is at the end of it, so that shouldn't be the one messing up for you.
Oh dear. Ladies and gentlemen, if this is my last tennis stream, you know why. Right, Townsend serving at 2-4. She's trying to keep herself in this match. It's a very good serve to open it with 15 love. She's still got to try and put the pressure on Azarenka. On Vika. Victoria. Another great serve, +1 backhand winner out the air from Townsend. 30 love. Awesome job. Just you wait, Sean, because the next time I do a Sabalenka match, I'm going to call her Azarenka.
No, I think it's because you've been doing quite a few Sabalenka matches recently.
Sure. Like, we'll put it down to that, despite the fact that was about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's fair. That was the last one you did, probably the Sabalenka Raducanu one.
I lost to Navarro.
No. Oh, did you?
Indian Wells, yeah. I didn't do any of her Miami matches.
Yeah. Are you sure you did a couple of her in Indian Wells?
Yeah, so I did her beating Raducanu, which I think you were on with me for that one. Great serving from Townsend. Holds to love. I think we picked the right match, Jerome.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been exciting. But the quality hasn't been the best, but it's been a dramatic match. And that's what you want.
I think there's a minimum quality threshold where it's enough that then the drama takes you the rest of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Do we think Haddad Meyer, or Jean's asking if you think that Haddad Meyer versus Kudermetova is going to be over or under 3 hours?
I think under 3 hours. I can see Haddad Meyer getting it done in straights.
Yeah, I'm going to go with under as well, but not by much. Like, I think the fans are going to have a late night on Althea Gibson court.
Yeah, it's a good court. I like the court. I like
Have you? Yeah. What's kind of your top tournaments that you want to go visit that aren't in the UK and not slams?
Have
I asked you this before?
Yeah, we spoke about it a bit.
I can't remember if I asked this question off. It's always on my mind because I do the Ground Pass podcast.
Yeah, no, I would definitely say in Indian Wells is up there.
That's Indian Wells, yeah.
Other than that, I'd quite like to go to quite like to go. I was looking at it actually earlier. Like one of the WTA events in Berlin. That one looks quite good.
Oh, the grass one. Yeah.
Yeah, the one in the run up to. It's the same week as Queens, though I think, which is
Yeah.
But that one always looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'd love to. I would love to go to Monte Carlo, and actually Kitzbühel is one that's really
Oh,
another
with the
one.
mountains.
Yeah, the mountains. I really like that. Thinking of picturesque ones, I'd love to just go to. I think the clay ones often have the better views, but
Yeah. It's kind of you're going to the clay ones for the location as much as the tennis.
yeah, exactly. Like I'd love to spend a week in Kitzbühel and watch some tennis. I mean, nothing better. But
Yeah.
go skiing after as well.
You definitely get yourself a European holiday out of it.
Yeah, precisely.
Um,
What about you?
I think US-wise, Indian Wells top of the
Mm-hmm.
list. I wouldn't mind visiting Charleston. I'm kind of curious about it.
Althea Gibson.
Yeah, but I think Indian Wells kind of. I'd even go to Indian Wells above the US Open, to be honest.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Nah, you gotta go US
I
at
mean,
some
like
point.
if I'm doing, I'd probably do the US Open to be completionist for slams, but
Yeah,
then like again, Europe-wise, Stuttgart actually, the WTA indoor event at Stuttgart because it feels
yeah,
kind of like a WTA finals type setup,
yeah,
especially with the fields it gets.
yeah. You're right. Is that the one with the
The
Porsche,
indoor clay court,
the Porsche in the corner?
yeah. It must feel horrendously corporate in terms of atmosphere, but like that's kind of what you get from a kind of a finals vibe.
Yeah,
Um,
fast indoor clay courts. Yeah,
yeah, that's a weird vibe, and obviously
it
a
is
good
a weird
chance.
vibe because it's so quiet in there as well. It's like you can hear you can like properly hear like the strings on the balls and the sound it makes.
I love watching that tournament. Yeah, I love watching that tournament. By the way, 30 all. Townsend's created herself an opportunity here.
Bit of a fist
Great
bump
stuff
as
from
well.
Vika though to snuff that one out.
I'm liking this outfit as well from Townsend. It's quite the white with the white hat. It's nice.
That was yeah, she's
Big
yeah,
serve from Azarenka. Unreturnable.
yeah, I think Townsend's clearly preparing for Wimbledon.
Yeah, bit early.
Hey, why not?
Yeah.
Great. They're into a rally now, and it's a huge find up the line from Azarenka. Gets the game 5-3. She's one game away from winning this match.
I remember that, Jean, in the trophy ceremony.
I mean, Sabalenka has lost that final 3 years in a row. I think I am at the point now where I'm okay with it having won at some point
Yeah.
because that's just mean otherwise.
Mm. What is Sabalenka and Świątek's head to head?
Head to head, 6-3 in terms of to Świątek.
6-3. What do you think it will be by the time Sabalenka retires?
Retires.
In favor of who do you think it'll be in favor of?
I still think it'll be in favor of Świątek at the end of their careers.
Yeah. I think the other way around, but
Well, at the minute they kind of alternate who wins the matches.
yeah, I think a time will come when I don't know, I can see Sabalenka like properly dialing in for a couple of years. Like she already has really like last year, but like
I
properly
think the
dialing in.
opposite.
Really? You think she's gonna drift away now?
Yeah. Well, maybe not drift away, but I certainly don't like. She's pretty young still. Don't forget, she's
She's getting older. She's 20, she's
26 now.
24, 26. Yeah, she's getting old.
Yeah. So she might get a little bit. I don't see her ever being super consistent.
Mm.
I see her being a contender for at least another 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, she's more consistent than Iga at slams, but
I mean,
here we go. Right, reel him in.
Pretend I didn't hear that. 40 love. Townsend goes out wide.
She is though, but yeah.
I think there's been mitigating circumstances in the recent ones. Townsend holds to love, so Azarenka's got to serve this out. I think the problem with Iga is at slams right now is that the conditions at 3 out of the 4 slams nullify her advantage over the rest of the field because they're just so fast. So she can still win it, but it's not as easy for her as it is at the French.
Yeah, true.
I think that's the big problem is the rest that some certain players in the field can catch up, and even then, it's usually a certain type of player who beats her. But yeah, I think also she's only not made the second week. Okay, no, didn't make second week in Australia. So no, US Open isn't as fast as Australian Open or Wimbledon, but it's faster than pretty much anywhere else on most places on tour. In the bigger picture, so I think there is mitigating circumstances. I don't think it's that Iga doesn't show up at slams.
Yeah, I wouldn't say she doesn't show up, but I'm saying Sabalenka has been more consistent.
Sabalenka does, yeah.
But
she's only won 2.
Correct. Yeah, I think that will change though this year. I think she was.
I think she'll win more than she'll win a couple more. Yeah.
Couple
I'm
more?
not backing her to win any more this year though.
Really?
No.
Really?
Nope. I'm thinking Swiatek's going to win the French, Rybakina's going to win Wimbledon, and Goff's going to win the US again.
Interesting calls. I think Osaka's going to win the US.
Or Osaka, yeah, she's in the mix.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I mean, to be fair, I would love for Rybakina to win another Wimbledon title. I would actually love that. She's so innocent. I love it.
Townsend, by the way, has just gone for a huge forehand up the line that was originally called in. Azarenka saying it's not. Umpire's confirmed it is not out. It is out, and it's 15 love to Azarenka.
It did look out when she first hit it.
Great, really short first set from Azarenka. Townsend's running around hitting the forehand, got Azarenka on the run, and Azarenka goes long in the backhand. Love 15. Just to answer your point, Schwarner, I don't want the tournaments to slow down, actually, because I prefer watching fast court tennis. I would like Iga to improve her game on fast courts. Unreturnable serve from Azarenka, 30-15. And she's moving forward here, 2 points away from moving into the quarterfinals in Charleston, which is a good run for her. I think I need to have a look at her year so far, actually, because I think she made the quarterfinals in pretty much most tournaments she's played at this year, Azarenka. Still stepping up. Looks like she's had a let, so she's still stepping up at 30-15.
She gets the match points.
Yeah, goes out wide with the first serve. It's unreturned. So 2 match points for Victoria Azarenka. Yeah, I'm having a look.
In Indian Wells and Dubai, she lost early.
Yeah. But she's made quarters.
Fourth round
or higher, pretty much. Or fourth round of Australia. But yeah, she's had a good deep run at most tournaments other than those 2 ones in Dubai and Indian Wells.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid year, to be fair. Solid start to the year.
Definitely top 20 solidly. Drop shot from Townsend to try and save it. gets the job done. 40-30, 1 match point saved. 15 for 6 for the year. Really good from Vika. Could be 16 for 6. That's actually a really decent start.
Yeah.
But she's got to get the job done here against Taylor Townsend for a 16th match win of the year. Career-wise, going to be a lot. Here we go. Azarenka serves out wide. Townsend gets the forehand into play. Backhand up the line from Azarenka. Backhand cross court from Townsend. Forehand inside in from Townsend. Backhand Azarenka moving from around. Forehand cross court from Townsend. Azarenka again on the defense. Gets it back. Townsend into the net to try and finish. Azarenka goes for the pass. Townsend covers the net. Azarenka's got the space with the backhand and she gets it. And she is through to the quarterfinals. The comeback does not start here for Taylor Townsend. It is a 6-7, 6-3, 6-4 win for Victoria Azarenka in Charleston. What a grueling battle she has just come through, Jerome.
Yeah, grueling is the word to use there, I think. But that game in the second set, serving at 3-3, the big hold to make it 4-3, that cannot be understated. The roar of emotion just there at the end of the match shown from Vika shows what it means to her to get through a tough battle. But yeah, continues the incredible start to the year that she's having. And for a player ranked mid-20s to late 30s in the WTA rankings, it's an incredible start to the year. She'll be shooting back up the rankings in no time at all.
If she maintains this form, absolutely.
Tough match against Pegula next round, though.
Yeah. I mean,
the way Pegula's been playing very inconsistently, I can see Azarenka pulling off an upset, but
there's an opportunity. Pegula is looking comfortable again.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is more her environment. So if Pegula shows up, I would back her to win it. But if she doesn't, Azarenka's more than capable of taking advantage.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's the kind of the surface as well is a bit of a downfall for Vika. She's not been performing well in recent years on the surface, so might be in the back of her mind. She might want to, change that this year. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Obviously, she has that one clay title. I think she did go deep at Roland Garros one year, didn't she? She's either semi-finals or quarterfinals.
Yeah, I can't remember. But
Vika, I'm sure she's had a good Roland Garros one at some point in her career. Look this up. I think we're both looking at the same thing here. Yeah, Victoria's Azarenka made 2 Madrid finals, which is pretty good.
Semi-final in 2013.
Yeah, I was right. I was right in thinking semis. Yeah. So she would have lost to either Serena or Sharapova, who at the time were the 2 best players on clay by far.
There you go. I mean, stay tuned. We'll see what happens.
Great Thursday night spending that with you, Jerome.
Yeah, pleasure, Nick. Always a pleasure. And I'm sure I'll see you soon. Hope everyone's enjoyed.
Yeah. Take care, everyone.
Take care.
Soon. Keep talking tennis.
As always.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.